Hello YouTube, this is Bash for you here for another movie, and as you can see in the top, bottom right corner, we're doing it for WPF Psycho Boost division. So basically it's a Paldea Dex division, which is very different from the other ones I've uploaded from this season on this YouTube, and it is in the top division for WPF of that, like the Paldea Dex division. So basically Paldea Dex, like, just you don't have megas, all that stuff. It's only the Pokemon in like the actual Sword and Scarlet and Violet. Oh my god, I said Sword. Scarlet and Violet video game of games. So that's something to keep in mind. Some extra rules I want to note. It is a Terra preview league where I believe we had 30 points for a Terra. And there's also a Terra taxes as well. So something like, I don't know, like say like Annihilate with like 16, it goes up to like 20 something. But Terra, off the top of my head, that's my first guess, at least for one. But yeah, so that's something to keep in mind, at least going to this. But we ended up with a middle of the pack pick, which kind of was like, not great. But there was stuff that kind of fell to me. So we were 10th pick out of 16, and it gets to my pick, and I'm kind of like looking like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, because like some stuff, like a lot of the good mons are gone already. Like, should I get like a Terra option here, or should I get like just like a good Pokemon around here? I don't know. Like, do I go with something like I don't know, like Greninja, or like Terra Ogerpon, or Raging Bolt, or something like that was kind of like the ideas. But I decided I wanted to go with something like with at least this pick, I wanted to go with Enamorus. And now Enamorus kind of, it's alright without like Terra, but this is Terra All, so it can run like any, like Terra Ground, like etc., right? And this thing hits really hard, especially Terra Fairy. I find that Terra Fairy and Terra Ground are like the best, to be honest, on it, because like straight up it like that's kind of like the Terras I feel like are best. I don't know, I haven't really seen like Stellar's really good too, especially on the Choice Scarf sets, but Terra Fairy just to hit as hard as possible, but also like Terra Ground just hitting all of its counters pretty much. I felt like we're really good on this in general. And I think it adds a lot to it. It gets rid of the rocks weakness too, which is really nice. It just allows it to hit really hard, and it allows it to run like different options too. So yeah, I really like that part of Enamorus. With the contrary, also superpower, but also can run like Cute Charm, Agility, Calm Mind, Shenanigans. So something that's really good, at least. Drop comes back. I was trying to think about what I want to do, and I was like, you know what, let's just grab like our speed right now. Just get it over with. I don't have to worry about really getting too much speed later on in the draft. So I end up grabbing Deoxys Speed. Now this is the Pokemon of speed, if you don't include Regieleki, which I don't know if you do or not. So it's something to keep in mind at least. But this thing gets a lot of things, right? First off, it's a really good hazard setter. Spikes, rocks, etc. Really good. It gets Psycho Boost, which is really good for breaking down walls and stuff like that. Gets Taunt, Recovery, Knockoff, Superpower, a lot of support as well. So I really like that for Deoxys Speed, and it gives us a really good option as well. Something to also note, I believe it outspeeds everything, Choice Scarf of anything from base 103 down. So that's also why I really liked it too, because I don't have to really, like, say like Chi-Yu, I could just run enough speed outspeed Scarf Chi-Yu, and then I could just destroy it with a superpower. That's some of the things I really liked on this, at least. So that's why I went with this, at least. And then going to the next pick, I was like, yo, let me get a really good fighting type. Pairs really well with Deoxys Speed, but there's also a type that can help with dealing with steel types for Enamorus Eye, and I love this Pokemon. It's Big Iron Hands, the Patty Cake champ, yo. This thing is so thick. This thing does not go. It's really difficult to OHKO this thing, and it hits hard as well. Gets sword stance to break through like walls. Gets like pretty decent coverage. Thunder punch, ice punch, play rough, close combat kind of shenanigans, volt switch, earthquake. Could be belly drum. Could be really cool. Kind of thing. So. Yeah, Heavy Slam 2 is really good because it's really heavy Pokemon, so this thing hits really hard and it's really good. I think it gives a lot of support. It deals with a lot of the steel types I want to deal with Enamorus, deals with the dark types I want to deal with Deoxys Speed, so I really liking this core, just starting off with. So then I end up going to the 4th round. I'm like, I want removal right now because Enamorus is... Enamorus, I want some removal for Enamorus because before it tears, I want it like to be able to deal with like removal kind of thing, like rocks, stuff like that. So I end up going down into Tentacruel. I also kind of did it partly because at this point, I think like a bunch of spinners got taken. I think right before this round, before my pick, Donphan went, Excadrill went, and Glamora went, all before my pick. So all those spinners are just gone at that point. So I was like kind of like panic picking, not really. At the same time, because I think Tentacruel fits this team really well as well, but and it's gonna fit really well with the next Pokemon I'm gonna get on the team too. But Rapid Spin, Momentum, Toxic Spike's really nice knockoff support. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Scald, but it is what it is. That's fine. But yeah, it's just a utility Pokemon for this team. And Momentum Grabber and like removal kind of situation. So I think it's really good that way. It's also really nice because it doesn't get affected by sticky webs, so I can just rapid spin away the sticky webs because I don't get the speed drops, so it's nice in that way too. So that's something to keep in mind at least. But this next pick was crazy, by the way. So this is what, the 5th round, and I had to decide between these two Pokemon. Which, first off, neither one of these two Pokemon should have been here in the 5th round, in my opinion. So I was debating between the two. I almost like spun a wheel for it, but I ended up going with this one because I felt like it was better for supporting Enamorus especially, and I ended up going with Gouging Fire. Now, the two mono I was debating between was Gouging Fire and Chi-Yu. Obviously, it kind of sucks that no spray for it, but Gouging Fire and Chi-Yu were the two that were still there, and I was like, wow, this is crazy that's still there. But I ended up going with Gouging Fire because of a couple reasons, right? So one is like it gives me another great way to deal with steel types I want to deal with Enamorus. It gives me Dragon Dance setup, which I really like on the team. It gives me a bulky option too, because right now I don't have like Iron Hands and Gouging Fire like the bulky mons, and also it's kind of nice because Iron Hands they want to Will-O-Wisp Iron Hands, which Gouging is immune to it kind of situation. It gets me Roar as well and stuff like that. Dragon Tail, Morning Sun, really bulky, but yeah, I just felt like this fit with this team really well, especially with Tentacruel, because Tentacruel deals with the dual type that Gouging Fire doesn't like to deal with, which is Water Fairy, because it resists and is immune to its stabs. So Tentacruel is able to deal with that pretty well. Like it's the water poison is really good to deal with that at least. So yeah, that's why I went with this pick. Now this next pick was I decided to grab more removal because at this point I'm like, yeah, Gouging is here and Enamorus here. Probably want to get more removal because Tentacruel isn't going to come to every game. So I ended up grabbing Serena here. Now I know a lot of people trash on this sometimes. I feel like the big issue with it is it has such 4 move slot syndrome because I personally, the way I like to run it, like U-turn, rapid spin, drop kick, whatever, or pedal blizzard, stuff like that, knockoff, fighting move, triple axle, like it has like so much it could do, but it's like 4 move slot syndrome, so I feel like it's kind of a struggle that way. But it gives us good momentum too, which I really like. Right now I have Iron Hands, Tentacruel, and Serena for momentum. It allows me to get spins off and like support the team pretty well, so that's what I really like. Also, this is like, why is this national? This is supposed to be Paldea Dex, whatever. But yeah, I really like this this Pokemon to help support the team. Now, going to my next pick, since I used Enamorus, I used 21. I think I used 21 of the points. Is that correct? Because of the Terra rules, I think it was 21. Yeah, so we're limited to 30. I got Enamorus went up to 21 points, so I have 9 points left for my Terra, for my other Terra, because we only allowed max 2. And I end up grabbing this one, which I think is like very underrated for a Terramon, and that is Registeel. Now Registeel I really like because it gives me a good like defensive option too, and I could tear into, especially with the set like Iron Defense Body Press, tearing into the type that help me deal with like certain Pokemon is going to make this really annoying to deal with, to try to break through. So I really like that for this. It gives me a Stealth Walker too. It gives me a good way to deal with fairies, because at the moment Tentacruel is my best way to deal with fairies since gouging is neutral to it too. So just a really good Pokemon here. Gives me T-Wave spam too, which is really nice. So yeah, I really like that for there. Now going into this pick, I was sniped on not only my original idea, but my backup idea for this pick. Now I want to Crocodile at this spot, and that got taken, and my backup was Mandibuzz, which also got taken. So I ended up going with a different dark type. So in this dark type here is Iron Jugulis. Now Iron Jugulis is around the same speed of Enamorus, so it's kind of a weird pick, but I think it helps in its sort of like offensive special presence, because right now Enamorus is like, I guess Enamorus and Deoxys have good special presence, but I feel like my team's leaning more physical at this point. Flash Cannon is really good to help with Rock Fairy too, like Diancie, to help break things open for gouging as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Gets knockoff support, gets momentum. So unfortunately it doesn't get Defog or Roost, but I think that's okay. I think I have pretty good spinners at this point, Tentacruel and Serena here, and it's not my last removal option on this team, just giving you a heads up. So I really like that, at least for this team. But yeah, gets really good coverage, so that's why I really liked it. I like it better than Glaring Moltres if it can't Terra, because the fact that the coverage being able to break through its walls, while Glaring Moltres is walled by a lot of different types, the different Pokemon, like say like Tyranitar, Diancie, stuff like that. So yeah, next up, with this pick, I had 3 points left to go, and 4 points left to go. I have 4 points left to go. So I decided between going through two different options. I could grab a 4-point ground type, or I could grab 2 1-pointers and 1 2-point ground type. Now, I ended up going with the option of the 2-point ground type. The 4-point ground type was Sandaconda originally, but I felt like this was better on the team. But I'm gonna go with one of my 1-point Pokemon first, and that is Haunter. I felt like this was a good pick for 1 point. Good coverage. It's a Levitator mon, so I don't have to worry as much about the ground weakness too. I got Serena, Jugulis, and Haunter for like dealing with ground types. Hits really. I can hit really hard. It can also be somewhat bulky too with a Violet, which is nice. But Pain Split, Toxic Spikes as well, which is really nice. I got another T-Spiker. But just the good coverage, it does pretty well with that. And the ground immunity is really nice too. So I really like that for this team, and that meant though that I had to grab my 2-point ground type, and that is Sand Slash. Now that's my last removal option, which is fine. I feel like the 2-point Sand Slash is kind of nice. Gives me more hazard setting. I got Spikes and Rocks here. Gives me Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Earthquake. Gives me Sand Rush if I want to run that in sand, kind of thing, which is really nice. Gets like decent coverage too, so it's kind of nice that way. I kind of like it on the team, and I feel like I didn't really need like the biggest, like best, like electric immunity with that, because I have Gouging Fire, which is really good, and Iron Hands, also both really good at dealing with electric types, and Serena even too. So I wasn't like that worried about it, especially since Enamorus is also going to be tearing grounding a lot too. So that's something to keep in mind. But I really like this Pokemon for this team. And the last pick we have to go with, I decided to use my last point to get webs, and that is going to be Kricketune. Now Kricketune, not really going to come much, to be honest. It's going to be here for webs, and that's literally what it's going to be for. There's not much else this is going to really do on this team, but that's perfectly fine because I really like it on this team. I have a spin blocker right here. That, by the way, that actually likes the support of webs, so it can outspeed things. I have this Pokemon, if you want a defog on it, Contrary Boost right there. I'm going to be at +1 evasion, so yeah, I really like that for the option there. Really good. And Technician moves aren't the worst too, with like things like Wait, what was it? There was like, oh man, what was the bug type of was? Pounce. Yeah, Pounce, really nice to control speed, which I really like too. Knock off support too. So I feel like this team can do what it needs to do for the season. It sounds like I'm really excited about this team because it's a lot of fun to build with. So yeah. With that, we're gonna cut to week 1. So we are back and we're up against Soggy Doggy Sage. Something to keep in mind. This this person is considered she's considered one of the top players of Gen 9 draft. This with from a bunch of people. So this is something to keep in mind. But going into this matchup, I had a specific idea going into it. One is the fact that I wanted to get webs up this game. So that's my plan. We're bringing Cricket to week 1, and we're bringing Haunter, if you can see on the screen. But if you look over here on the side, we got the paste. It's going to be like that every single game this season that I'm uploading right here. But we're going to start off with the team. So we got Deoxys Speed, Psycho Boost, Knockoff, Energy Ball, Extreme Speed, Life Orb. Right now, I'm with that speed, I'm outspeeding Choice Scarf Rotom, which they didn't bring, regular Rotom. Which I thought was a possible bring with the fact that I have Iron Hands in the back, right? Stuff like that. But no, they didn't bring that, so I just need to keep that in mind. But then I brought a bulky Gouging Fire. This is to help deal with the Ogerpon Heart Flame, so I need to keep that in mind. Heat Crash, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Morning Sun, pretty bulky. I think I have enough investment, so I take 2 Stopping Tantrums, I think, or something like that was the calc. Next but not least, we got Yhoodles here, the Haunter. The Haunter goes crazy this game. If I get webs up, this thing 2 KOs everything I think on their team, pretty much, which is really good this game. So I really want to try to get those webs up as soon as possible, and try to put some pressure on their team. Next, we got Volume here, the Cricketune, with the Technician, Choice Scarf, Sticky Web, Pounce, Knockoff, Perish Song. Now, I was thinking, right, that they could run Scale Shot Garchomp to try to deal with Sticky Webs, Sash Sticky Webs. So I ended up going with this. I want a really bulky set too, so that because I actually don't have Speed Greninja, I think, with this Max Speed Greninja, but they also shouldn't be Max Speed Greninja because of the fact that I don't it doesn't. They can run Modest against me or Adamant, I think. Or no, maybe not. I think it was almost close to that because of Iron Jugs. But I felt like that I would want the Choice Scarf better this game, especially also in case of Taunt, so that's kind of what I was going with. And then Pounce, Choice Scarf Pounce is nice to keep speed control, if I could just keep dropping their speed, or even Perish Song if they're set up like Clefable or something like that. I think I really like that here. Next we got Enamorous here, Choice Scarf, Terra Fairy, Moonblast, Earth Power, Psychic, Healing Wish. So I went with this set because of the fact that Terra Fairy, I was going in case of if webs are up and Greninja gets a Battle Bond, I still outspeed with this. Second thing, if there are boots on anything, like the Greninja specifically, another way to deal with that as well. So I really like that scenario, and also Healing Wish could be really nice for something like Haunter or like Gouging Fire or Deoxys Speed, who really do well this game too. So I need to keep that in mind. And last but not least, we got Serena here. With U-turn, Trop Kick, Low Sweep, and Rapid Spin. Now, the reason we're going with this is because Kebia Berry, I believe, was because of the fact that Gren most likely is going to be Sludge Wave this game, I think. That was kind of the theory behind this, because at the moment, my water switch-ins is Serena. I guess my let me think about that. I think it was because, yeah, I think it was because of that. Literally because of the Serena plus Enamorous aspect. I think that's why I thought they were going to go Sludge Wave, to be honest, over Ice Beam. It also hits harder. It also hits harder, technically, right? So something to keep in mind. I think it was also made there for the Weezing, so I could get a spin-off on it, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so they also had a Quillfish in the back. Yeah, they had a Quillfish in the back, which is nice to know as well. Because they actually had rain aspect too, but they didn't have any removal on this team, which is really interesting when they have an Ogrepon Hearthflame. So that's kind of why I really wanted to get this Kricketune up and going. But let's go into the match here. As you can see, they brought Greninja, Garchomp, Metagross, Ogrepon Hearthflame, Weezing, and Clefable. I'm assuming this is going to be Unaware Clefable, and if it's Death like Weezing kind of thing, that's going to probably be Battle Bond. This is actually Terra Greninja, by the way, just want to keep that in mind. And I can see Garchomp being set up, or like Hazards and Metagross being like an AV or like like a bulky set, to be honest, so something to keep in mind. But we're going to lead off. I reveal to be, right, the Terra Fairy, Enamorous, and they show to be Terra Ghost Greninja, which is very interesting. I did not expect that at all. It could be interesting because that blocks Rapid Spin, but I don't know why. My best guess was like going into this match was like when I saw that I was like, oh, maybe it's because at the moment my only Ghost resist on my team is the Iron Jugs, which I did not bring, so maybe that's why they brought it. Could be a good potential option, and also to deal with Extreme Speed, Deoxys Speed. But yeah, so we're gonna lead Kricketune. They lead Ogrepon Heartflame, and I was outspeed, so I'm just gonna get those webs up, sack it up, perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with that, and I'm going to go into gouging, which is my response to this, is they show to be Rock Tomb, which is really interesting because Rock Tomb is like going to drop my speed, right, as I Dragon Dance up, and something to keep in mind, right, so they end up showing Encore, but that's fine with me, because if they want to Rock Tomb again, I actually believe I'll still live enough Rock Tombs where the Encore's still up, and then I could like Morning Sun up, or I could just kill this thing, which is really good. But they end up switching out to Garchomp here as I go for another Dragon Dance here, and I end up switching out to Serena. Oh yeah, that was the other reason. Poison Jab. That's another thing. Poison Jab from Garchomp. But yeah, they go for Earthquake. They showed it not to be Boost, which is really clutch, as I believe I am going to U-turn out? I think I U-turn out? Yeah, I U-turn out here. And they show to be Rocky Helmet, so they're probably expecting triple axle there, but it's going to be really annoying to punish the Serena that way. But that gets me into the Deoxys Speed. I'm going to go for a knockoff. There's no way they're staying in with Weezing here. And they show to be neutralizing Gastros is interesting too. But when the Metagross get the clear body off, so it's not affected by webs, and they show to be Weakness Policy. And I'm like, oh no, please don't be Agility. But I'm just gonna have to stay in because I think if they get an Agility off, I could just lose this game right now. Just because like the way that played out, I don't have great responses. Gouging's already chipped, so if it has Earthquake, that's a huge issue. So is Serena, and Namorous definitely dies to any Steel move. Haunter is not the bulkiest, so I was in a really bad position. So I'm just gonna knock off here, weaken it even lower, as they do show to be Agility, and I'm like, oh no. So here's the thing, right? Based on it seems like they're like kind of a little bulky, but so I don't know what the set is exactly, but if they're a little bulky, in order to have, I was looking at the calc, I'm like, if they have enough speed to outspeed this at +2, they're not gonna have that much attack invested. So maybe I could live with something else, but I think the best play is just to click knockoff again, because even if I extreme speed, it's not gonna make a difference because I don't have any more priority on my team. At least what I brought. So extreme speeding and not getting the kill, because I know for a fact that extreme speed is not gonna kill from here at this point. So I'm like, well, it just makes so much sense to just try to go see if I live this or even outspeed this, which I don't think I'm going to live this, but if I outspeed this, it's like the best case scenario here. So I think this was the best play at least. But so I'm going to stay in and click knock, and I do outspeed, and I'm like, oh my god, thank god, because I was in such a bad position otherwise. So Deoxys already getting a kill on Metagross is really clutch. So now they don't really have the best response to Deoxys, especially since if this is unaware Clef, Psycho Boost is not going to be like, I'm not going to get the drops from, I'm going to get the drops, but it's not going to be, it's going to be ignoring it. So I'm just going to be able to keep hitting it with the 140 base power rate move. I think it's 140. But I'm going to switch out into Serena because I want to scout what it wants to do. As Deoxys is really good for the Weezing still. As I'm going to Rapid Spin here, get rid of the rocks here, as they show to be T-Wave. So I am going to U-turn out here as they get up rocks, and they actually have speed, which kind of sucks. But I go out to Haunter here. The only thing it really sucks on is like the Namorous at this point, because Gouging is heavy duty boots, and I guess like for taking chips on Deoxys. But I'm gonna get Haunter in. I'm gonna make some plays. I'm gonna go. Well, first I'm gonna go for Sludge Wave, because this thing does a lot to it, right? As I get the Sludge Wave off, and I get a poison, kind of nice in terms of getting chipped down on this. But I'm gonna pop off with the Icy Wind here. I'm about Icy Wind, so it's gonna hurt really a lot. It should kill, but they show up to be Yachi, and they live barely. And they get a scale shot off, and they get 1, 2. Thank God they got 2, because I'm able to take the next kill. But at the same time, if they got more than 2, I like still outsped with with a Namorous, Deoxys, like a lot of Pokemon. Plus I have extreme speed, even if I did get to +2 for some reason. But that's perfectly fine with me. Is I'm just gonna Shadow Ball here in case they make a switch out. Oh, I have Sludge Wave here. Yeah, which is fine. But what's really interesting is they go into Wheezing. So my guess then at this point is that this Greninja, first off, isn't Scarf, and second, isn't Boots. Because at that point, that's the only reason you'd go into this at this point. So I thought about saving this, maybe getting the Healing Wish off with this, because this thing really goes in on their team otherwise. But at the same time, like, I'm a little... I feel like a Namorous is so good in this match. So I feel like trying to keep it around. I want Namorous because Choice Scarf, Terra Fairy, Moonblast does really well, especially if this is offensive Ogerpon Hearthbloom. But so I'm just gonna get Shadow Ball off, get damage off on this, putting it pretty low, which is really nice. As they go for Flamethrower to take me out, which is fine. Unfortunately, I wish Haunter was able to do more since it had a really good matchup, but it just I couldn't do it more with it. But I'm going to this, and I'm gonna get off my Terra Fairy Moonblast here. As they go into Ogerpon Hearthflame, and they show to be kind of bulky, which is kind of annoying because now Namorous isn't as good here in terms of breaking that. But I'm going to sack off Serena here, which is fine. As they go for Leech Seed, which is really interesting. So they're Ivy Cudgel, Rock Slide, Encore, Leech Seed. Very interesting. But I'm just going to Rapid Spin in case they don't go for the Ivy Cudgel, but of course they're going to and take me out. And that means I'm going to go into my Deoxys this time. Now, I'm going to Deoxys because I want to put on pressure at this point. I think Psycho Boost will kill this. And the only thing that's going to take the Psycho Boost is Greninja, but I wreck that with the Energy Ball afterwards. So that's kind of the idea, at least. So I'm just going to Psycho Boost here on the Wheezing here coming in, which is fine. As I do kill the Wheezing here, which is really nice. So yeah, they go out into the Greninja or Clef at this point. I think Layfor, I'm -2. They go into Gran. I decide to just stay in a knockoff here to see what item it is, whatever, because at this point, like, Energy Ball wasn't doing that much, so I'm just going to knock off, get rid of the item. And I get rid of the boots, which is really nice, so this definitely is unaware Clef, by the way. So I could just spam Psycho Boost and get off a lot of damage here. Does about half. As they go for the Thunder Wave, they get it, which is fine. So as long as they break through this, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just going to knock off, kill this thing. So Deoxys has been looking really good. Webs are up too, which is really nice. Now, Gren comes in here, so this is like their win con, because at this point, like, Ogerpon Hearthflame is not going to do it right here, and this is probably the best time for Gren to try to set up. So I need to, what I decide to do, oh man, I think that Gren outspeeds me at this point. When I was looking, I was like thinking about like, oh, Gren definitely outspeeds me. I'm -2, they're at -1, and I'm gonna extreme speed, so I'm gonna get damage off, try to get off as much as I can, as I could also Terra Ghost, I guess, but it was kind of interesting. So they go for the SD, which is like oh my god, this is really bad. If they are Terra Ghost Shadow Sneak, I think I just lose at this point, basically. Maybe Gouging could take a hit, but it's gonna be really tough. I'm gonna go for a knockoff, because in case they Terra Ghost, expecting with the extreme speed, but in case I do outspeed or they try to set up another SD or anything like that, because I definitely expect them to Terra Ghost on this turn, especially since I'm going to click Extreme Speed against them. But I actually outspeed, which is crazy. And they show to be Salic Berry, which is like really important because they go for Ice Punch. They get the Battle Bomb boost here, and it to me, the fact that they're Salic Berry means that they're probably not Shadow Sneak. They were probably like a Durset maybe. And so I'm like, okay, like, and Namor's, Choice Scarf and Namor's might just come in clutch right now. I get this kill. So I'm going to go for Moonblast as they Terra Ghost. And I'm just going to kill this thing. Whew, no Shadow Sneak. We are good. We're chilling. So now it's just down to the Ogre Pawn versus Namorous and Gouging Fire. I'm just going to chip this down with the Moonblast. At this point, they don't have recovery, so and if they want to kill me, that's fine. I'll just get the last kill with Gouging. So yeah, wow, that was a really close game. There was a couple plays I definitely misplayed on, especially with the Deoxys should have just knocked off originally, and I think I could have played a little better with around like the rocks being up Serena maybe, or that was kind of like the big thing. So yeah, or but yeah, the Deoxys playing around that like Greninja I could have played better, but luckily I came in clutch with the knockoff on the Salic Berry, because I would have lost I think if they got the Endure off of the Salic Berry. So yeah, so GG to Soggy for week 1. That puts us up plus 1-0 plus 1, and we're gonna cut to the next match. So we are backing it to week 2 up against Dr. Geo, and he's a homie. He's a fellow Crash gang too, because he's actually was in Crash this season, just in the Origin division. But they got a crazy team. They have the Terra King Gambit, which is terrifying. I hate playing against like Terra King Gambit. So many 50 mind games, and also the type. I don't know what type it's gonna be. It should be Fairy though against me, with the fact that I have like Iron Hands there. Yeah, so they have King Gambit, like Gladios, like Gliscor, Primarina, Decidueye, Salazzle, Terra Jolteon, Slitherwing, and Garganacl. So something to really keep in mind going into this game. So let's go into the team I'm bringing. As you can see on the left, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Swords Dance, Iron Hands with Cobra Cloak. This Cobra Cloak is there for the Garganacl, so I could always set up on it. So I really like that idea, at least for this aspect. Yeah, we're a pretty bulky set, so to help with the team. Next we got Registeel, Terra Fairy, Iron Defense, Body Press, Heavy Slam, Rest. Really good with the set, I think. Legit, like this thing goes in. I just need to, like, Decidueye is the only thing that really deals with it. I guess Salazzle, to be honest, too, could be really annoying with it, but this thing goes in otherwise on their team. I really like Terra Fairy to deal with like certain situations, like Slitherwing was like the big one. So yeah, this thing goes really in on their team. But yeah, next up is Tentacruel. We got Flip Turn, Poison Jab, Haze, Toxic Spikes. Now I want to bring Toxic Spikes this game because of the fact that like if I could get that poison on Decidueye, that could be really good this game, to be honest. So that's kind of the reason I'm bringing it. I also didn't really have like a fourth move I really was thinking about, so I was like, you know what, maybe throw it on. Maybe they don't. If they don't bring Salazzle, that's really good for us, so I can take advantage of it. Especially since their removal wasn't like amazing; it was just Decidueye, I believe, at the moment. So yeah, so Flip Turn, Poison Jab, Haze, T-Spikes. Next we got Deoxys Speed, Psycho Boost, Knockoff, Superpower, Skills. Okay, that is not the right set. Okay. This is actually Psychic Terrain. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know why this is weird. Did it not save correctly? Well, you know what? We're just going to do this right now. Don't mind that. Okay. Sorry, there we go. Psychic Terrain. Yeah. So with Psychic Terrain, I was originally supposed to be Skull, so I'll have to try to catch the Kicker with the Supreme Overload, but Psychic Terrain was so much better. So that's what we're going with. So that's what we went with for this match. But then we got a Namorous here. I got Choice Scarf Fairy, Moonblast, Earth Power, Healing Wish, Springtide Storm. Springtide Storm is only just to like in case I need the extra damage off and like say like King Gambit or something like that, or like to yeah, that's pretty nice here. Last but not least, we got a really crazy like EV set right here. We got Gouging Fire, Heat Crash, Earthquake, Dragon Dance, Morning Sun. Now they do have Primarina here, but Pre-Marina shouldn't be able to do too much to me. I'm pretty bulky, so I think I'm able to deal with it. Yeah, let's go into the match. As they show to be King Gambit, Gliscor, Latios, Decidueye, Pre-Marina, and Jolteon. I believe they're Terra Fairy. King Gambit, I forgot what Jolteon Terra they were, but we'll go into the match. So, as you see before, I'm Terra Fairy Registeel, and I am Terra Fairy Namorous. They show to be Terra Fairy King Gambit and Terra Ghost Jolteon. Yes, okay. So Terra Ghost Jolteon makes sense to try to be like immunity to Iron Hands, right? So Ghosts like to be immune to its dual stabs with the Volt Absorb, but also the fact that like my only Ghost Resist was again only Ghost Resist was the Iron Jugs, which is not going to want to take a Volt Switch or Thunderbolt from Jolteon. So, but I'm going to lead off with Tentacruel, try to get my T-Spikes up early. As they Spirit Shackle, take me down a decent bit. As I get my T-Spikes, as I get some recovery from Black Sludge. They show to be Defog, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm just going to flip turn out on this. I believe I got to Gouging Fire, just put on some pressure here. As I'm going to double out into Deoxys Speed on the Gliscor coming in. Which makes sense because Gliscor is going to definitely be the Gouging Fire answer. As I'm going to go for a knockoff and take off the Conberry. Very interesting. So this is probably here to help with Iron Hands. So I'm going to double back out into Tentacruel, which is going to be my switch in pretty much every time to Prima because it's really good for that. They go into Jolteon and I'm in like kind of a weird situation. So I believe I go into Gouging here because I'm pretty bulky here. And the worst they could do is Thunderwave me. But they're just going to Volt Switch. And they're going to try to probably put me in a really like weird, awkward like Volt Turn Core, Flip Turn Core. So I'm going to go into Gliscor, Namorous on the Gliscor, expecting the Earthquake. But they go for Rocks, which is really nice too. So I get in before Rocks, so I can get I get the Terra Fairy off and be able to hit hard. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I feel like Terra Fairy wasn't that great in this matchup anyway now. With what they brought, but I get the Terra Fairy Moonblast off. They show Facade, which is fine with me. This Gliscor is so chipped down, it's basically dead. They didn't have any Fairy Resist at this point too, because Salazzle was the only thing that was Resist Fairy in their team, I believe. So they go to Latios, definitely meaning it's Choice Scarf Latios. So I'm just going to Registeel here. I'm Clear Body to also ignore the Luster Purge drops, which is really nice. As I get my leftovers, and I think I click Heavy Slam, yeah, to get damage off on the Primarina. So, wow, was I actually calm as well? Oh my god, what did I do this game? What the heck? Yo, I must have been juice. Oh my gosh, I didn't know. But yeah, I go with the Tentacruel here on the Primarina as they flip turn again, trying to get momentum. As they go back into Latios, they go into Jolteon, which they go into Jolteon here, which is really frustrating for me, but at least I have the booties on the Gouging Fire to be able to not take those rocks because Volt Switch isn't going to do too much to me. As they go into Latios here, and I believe I stay in, predicting them to switch out, try to break the cycle here, as I'm just going to Morning Sun up, I believe. Oh no, I Dragon Dance because that means I'm outspeeding, yeah. So I'm going to Dragon Dance, I'm going to Dragon Dance again to try to get up as much damage as possible. As they show Moonblast as I eat that, and I'm just going to Moonlight up here. Morning Sun up, back up to a good amount. They show to be Haze, which is really annoying. So I'm just going to Earthquake just to chip this thing down. 23%, kind of nice. They show to be Psychic Noise to block my healing. So this Primarina set is really good to deal with my gouging. So I'm just going to Earthquake it again to lower it as much as possible as they flip turn out. So, and they go out into the Latios this time. And this time I'm going to pull the switch into Registeel because gouging looks pretty good now in this game here. I think that, but I need to keep in mind that I don't really hit Latios that hard with gouging, so I need that chip too. So they're going to go for a Luster Purge, as I am going to, I believe, Heavy Slam again? No, I double out to Tentacruel. Okay, yeah, I double out to Tentacruel, expecting the Primarina to come in, or even a Decidueye. And I'm going to get up a T-Spike here, which is perfectly fine with me. As they go into Decidueye, and I'm going to, I believe I got my second T-Spike up, or I go for Poison Jab. I live on 1%, which is sweet, as I get my second T-Spike, because that makes Registeel so much better this game. Now, hopefully they don't defog, but I'm just going to T-Spike in case they do, as they show Shadow Sneak, and I'm going to go out to Gouging to make sure they can't defog in the face of this, as I believe I am going to Heat Crash here. Yep, and get a good amount of damage off, which is nice. Now at +2 I kill, right? But they go for a Luster Purge. I stay in, predicting the flip turn again. Plus I live a Luster Purge, so I'm just going to get the Morning Sun off, as the Spit F drop sucks, but I'm at a higher health than I was before, which is really nice. So I'm going to go with Registeel now this time, and I believe I'm going to Iron Defense now on this turn. No, Heavy Slam predicting Pre-Marina coming in, because I didn't want to deal with it. Crazy I was minus attack. Oh my gosh, what was I? I literally must have been so juiced. But Pre-Marina goes down to the T-Spikes, which is really nice. So Jolteon comes in. I believe I Iron Defense on this because like Jolteon can't do much to me, to be honest. As they go into Destroy and get Toxic, and I'm just gonna Iron Defense, and I believe I think I Heavy Slam, or I think I Heavy Slam. I'm predicting the Latios to come in, expecting it to try to trick the Scarf onto me. So I get the Latios off damage, and I'm going to go into Iron Hands because I felt like this was the least used the Pokemon I don't care as much about this game. I feel like it had the worst, with what's left, it's probably the worst because of the fact that it has Terra Fairy, King Gambit. So I don't really care as much of getting like the Choice Scarf on this. I feel like everything else is really important here. Namorous for like to deal with Sucker Punch. Gouging Fire is just really good for dealing with Jolteon, Decidueye. Deoxys Speed is good also for King Gambit as well for Psychic Terrain. And Registeel is really good for the Latios too. So I'm just going to go on to Iron Hands on the trick here, which is really good. So now I'm Choice Scarf, and I believe I Drain Punch because I don't want to let that King Gambit in. That's like the big thing. I don't want that King Gambit to come in. I'm fine with like the Drain if I Drain Punch and they go into Decidueye, because at this point also everything is poison that I want to be poison. Oh, I guess like Jolteon, but Jolteon should be Boots though, right? Yeah, Jolteon's Boots, so it doesn't matter. And King Gambit isn't it didn't tear yet, so the big thing I really wanted poison was the Decidueye anyway, so I'm fine with that. As I'm gonna go with the Gouging Fire here, as they go for the Spirit Chakra. I'm just gonna be Morning Sun up on this thing real quick. And the shield will be Shadow Sneak too, so I'm not gonna Dragon Dance on this. I'm just gonna get the Morning Sun off, which is really nice. As they Spirit Chakra again, I can freely just D-Dance here if I want to, especially since the Decidueye is going down. But I do Dragon Dance here. Okay, so here's the play here. I'm gonna go out, I believe, back into Registeel, or do I Dragon Dance again? I Heat Crash. Okay, I Heat Crash here. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, yeah, he's not Choice Scarf. Duh. Oh my god, this game is from so long ago. So sorry about that, guys. But I'm gonna Heat Crash because I outspeed and I killed the Latios here with the Dragon Dance up. So Decidueye goes down because they sack that off. As they go into King Gambits, it's the only thing that could come in here, and I'm gonna Heat Crash on the Terra Fairy, which is fine. Which is doing a good amount, 46%. They SD, and I'm going to Heat Crash again. Even if they do go for Sucker, it's not the worst thing in the world, and I die. I just don't want it like setting up again, I guess. So I want the damage off in case they, So Heat Crash goes off. They kill me with Terra Blast. Perfectly fine with that. I'm going to go out to Deoxys here. I'm going to set up the Psychic Terrain here to make sure that they can't Sucker Punch me. And even if they kill me, that means Enamorous just cleans up this game at this point. So I get the Psychic Terrain off, and I'm just going to kill this with the Deoxys here. Psychic Boost, kill that thing, and next up is the Latios or the Jolteon here. So they go into Jolteon. I'm actually going to save this because of the fact that I don't think Deoxys takes it out, Jolteon out, because I'm -2. So I'm just going to go into this, and I'm just going to Iron Defense once, I think, and then I think I'm resting. They go for Learning Voice, expecting like the defense, but that doesn't work that way. You have to be slower for the Learning Voice to work on the Registeel, like the stat boosting. So I'm just gonna bypass, bring this all the way down. That means Deoxys just literally wins now at this point with knockoff. But I'm just gonna rest here because I want to try to save diff here, differential here. So, and at this point, I was just gonna rest and kill the last 2 mons here, but yeah, Geo didn't want to play it out, which is perfectly fine. because I was gonna waste another 2, 3, like there was gonna be an extra like 4 more or 5 more turns. So I don't blame him for not wanting to play it. And they don't blame me for trying to save diff, so that's the only reason I like went for the rest. But yeah, Registeel put in the finals to work. So did Gouging. I think like this team really hand this game. The second terrain was really clutch for the King game at Sucker Punch Mind Games too. So yeah, funny enough, we were testing out afterwards because we talked afterwards and about the skill swap because I told him I originally was going to plan to bring skill swap, and it does actually work against King Gambit to take the Supreme Overlord. But Psychic Terrain was just a lot better this game. So yeah, that's for week 2, and we'll cut to week 3. Okay, so now we are on to week 3. We are up against who is like Terrapicos, Terra Ogerpon, Archaludon, Thundee, Mimikyu, Suian Quillfish, Hariyama Golurk, Terra Barraskewda, and Pelipper. I was going into this match, I was so scared of the Golurk because I didn't have a lot for it, to be honest. Other than I guess like Iron Jugs, but like at the same time, if it just clicks like Stone Edge once, I'm like really screwed. So, and I felt like Golurk was really good for dealing with like things like Iron Hands and Registeel. But yeah, let's go into the team we're bringing in here. Iron Jugulas making its debut here. Dark Pulse, Hurricane, Focus Blast, U-Turn. Really good in this matchup. I went with Focus Blast over Earth Power because I wanted to hit Archaludon even harder. Because I think it's really scary, especially under rain. And I also wanted to be able to hit Terrapicos harder too. I have Fizdef Registeel with Body Press, Iron Head, Iron Defense, Rest, Terra Grass to be able to take advantage, to be able to deal with the Barraskewda, because right now my Grass and my Serena doesn't take on Barraskewda that well, especially Terra Barraskewda, and I don't want to deal with the onslaught of their team, so I feel like this was like the best way to deal with it. I also am Iron Head over Body Press, and that is so I could hit Golurk harder with Iron Head. So yeah. Next we got Patty Cake Champ here. Really bulky Spidef set, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fake Out. Really good this game. Helps with Archaludon, helps with Thundee, helps with Pelipper, helps with Terrapicos. So that it has a lot it could do. So I need to make sure to keep this thing healthy, but also it could do with a lot this game. Then we got Tentacruel here, Flip Turn, Toxic Spikes, Surf, Sludge Bomb. I'm bringing T-Spikes again. I didn't think they were going to bring Hisuian Quillfish, but if they did, I could be able to weaken it down pretty early and get those T-Spikes up. Could be really good for like things like Terrapicos, especially since that was their only removal on their team. So felt really good. I was like a minus. I'm Rain Dish as well, minus like a really weird set. I actually take, I believe, a Psychic Life Orb, Psychic Fangs from Barraskewda, and I also take 2 Choice Band Liquidations, I think, from Barraskewda. So that was something to keep in mind, but I also think I was also meant to take on a hit from Terrapicos, I think it was. Was it Terrapicos? Maybe it was Terrapicos. So I could Flip Turn out on it, so yeah, like I could take a hit decently well from Terrapicos. So yeah, that was kind of set. We got Deoxys Speed, Psychic Boost, Psycho Boost, Focus Blast, Knockoff, Extreme Speed, pretty generic set. I don't know if you keep like notice, I'm going 32 in HP. This is because of the Life Orb number. Makes it like it lasts a Gym 9, meaning that like it's the best way to be able to take as many hits as possible with the Psycho Boost. With the Life Orb event, so that's the reason I keep having that when I'm Life Orb, to have the 32 HP investment. But this thing hits really hard. I need to be able to deal with, the one thing I need is Hisuian Quillfish dealt with a little bit. I need to knock off on it so it could be really clutch. But yeah. Then we got Enamorus here, the last Pokemon here. Very interesting set. We got Moonblast, Earth Power, Endure, Healing Wish, Terra Fairy. I felt like this was really good. This could be really good in this matchup, but I was planning on tearing my Registeel this game, but I feel like Endure, Custap Berry could be really clutch, especially since they have like the speed control with Barraskewda, and Ogerpon Grass like Terra, so it gets like the speed boost. So I really like that, but also like Endure Healing Wish could be really clutch for something like Iron Hands, which I really wanted to use. So yeah, let's go into what they brought. They ended up bringing Terrapicos, Archaludon, Barraskewda, Pelipper, Hisuian Quillfish, and Thundee. So let's go into the leads, and we'll just look at the Terras real quick. So they end up being Terrifying Barraskewda, which is really interesting, and Terra. That's it. Yeah, because they didn't bring Overpawn. So they lead Terrapicos. I believe I lead with the Iron Jugs. I feel like it was the best, especially if lead for them, for me at least, because unless they're Choice Scarf Thun DT, I'm in like a pretty good position. I could just U-turn out on Thun DT. And I'm able to put a lot of pressure on everything on their team at this moment. I'm able to break the Terra Shell too, which is really clutch. So I believe I just go for the U-turn, break the Terra Shell early, and I'm going to go into my hands here. Oh yeah, the Spadef on Registeel was supposed to be for this Trapicos, but they get their rocks early. They go for Earth Power, so I'm able to eat that. If I get the Sludge Bomb, try to get a poison off, which would be really nice. Try to weaken this down too, as I believe I flip turn out or I T-Spikes. I flip turn out this turn, expecting Arch to come here, because Arch is a really good switch into Tentacle at the moment. But I'm going to go into Iron Hands in the AV Iron Hands, and I'm going to try to put some pressure on. They go into Pelipper, which is crazy play, but you know what? It works out for them, because I Drain Punch, and they're able to get the rain up. And you know what? I think they're going to Thunder T this turn, because Thunder Punch is so obvious here. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch, predicting the Thunder T. Especially since Thunder T would likes the rain being up. But I'm going to go for the Ice Punch and do a lot to it. This is basically almost like a dead Thunder T at this point. Really clutch. As they go for the Surge Wave, it does nothing, as you can see. As I'm just going to go for another Ice Punch and take out Thunder T. So a huge threat out of the way early. I'm still at a really good amount of HP too. So I could help with the Archaludon and the Terrapico still. And the Pelipper too as well. So that's just Iron Hands. Just so thick. I'm going to assuming Coldfish. I'm going to go on a Registeel, so that's probably one of the other ways to Swift Swim on, as a Gunk Shot, and I am able to be immune to that. And I could go for an Iron Defense here. I think I go for Iron Defense, or do I double? Yeah, Iron Defense here. Pelipper doesn't look like, I want to see what Pelipper wants to do to me. I'm going to double out into Tentacle, expecting, like, I want to see what it wants to do to me. I'm able to take any hit here. There's a knockoff here, and I'm going to go for, I believe, do I go for T-Spikes here? I Rain Dish, get the Rain Dish, which is really nice. So I believe I T-Spike here, which kind of was a misplay, because they actually end up being slower than me anyway, even though I'm minus speed, which kind of sucks, but oh well. But they go into Archaludon instead of Quillfish, which is really nice for me. So I'm going to go out to Iron Hands here. I'll be able to eat this up pretty well. As they show the Electro Shot, because I knew the Electro Shot was coming to try to get the special attack boost. But I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch here, get some really good damage off here. Even if they go Pelipper, which is they end up doing, that's perfectly fine. And because of the fact that I didn't show Electric Move earlier, they might think I have no Electric Move, which is crazy in this matchup. But I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt, kill this thing off, which is really clutch. Take this thing out, and now I'm in a really good position. So now they have limited rain terms for Arch, Barraskewda, and Hisuian Quillfish. They go into Hisuian Quillfish to get rid of the T-Spike, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. As I'm going to sack off the Tentacle in case they go for like some other move, but they go for ST, which kind of sucks, which means I was kind of made a misplay, but I could have gone Registeel there and saved a differential on that. But I'm gonna go. I sack off Tentacle at this point, and I'm gonna go into Registeel and try to set up as long with it. I should be okay, as long as they're not taunt. As you see, Crunch doesn't do too much to me, and they can't get the defense drops on me because of Clear Body. So I'm in a really good position now. I'm gonna be able to get some leftovers recovery as they go for another Crunch, and I get to believe I go for another one. Oh no, I go for Body Press, get damage off on this because I really want damage off. Do I go for another one here? I Crunch, or do I rest here? Iron Defense here, and then I believe I rest on this turn, meaning that there's only one more turn of rain anyway now, which is really nice. So now Barraskewda, Quillfish, not outspeeding, like some of the other mons, like Deoxys Speed kind of thing, you know. So I'm rested back up, and they're gonna switch out to Terrapicos, and I'm just going to let the rest go, see what I hopefully burn some sleep. So I'm going to go into Iron Juggler because I feel like Earth Power is going to do a lot to me. I don't want to take that chip because Registeel kind of just wins this game without this there. So I get the Dark Pulse off. They get a crit Terra Starstorm, so that kind of sucks for Jugs. That really sucks, but I'm just going to go here and I'm just going to Terra Fairy Moonblast because honestly they don't switch in at all. And I kind of want to still keep this. I don't want to be grass because of the Hisuian Quillfish on Registeel, so I'm just going to Moonblast here, and I'm going to Moonblast again. Oh, no. Oh, I saved this. Oh, I saved this. Okay. I save this. They go for Flash Cannon. I eat that. I'm going to just Drain Punch, get some recovery back because it's really good. And they Draco and they crit me, which sucks because now I'm super low. But even the crit Draco, that's crazy. Like, it's like, I didn't do that much. They get a defense boost, and I'm going to Drain Punch again as a body press. Unfortunately, like, that crit really sucks because now I'm not really able to take on Terapagos at this point with this Iron Hand. Which is kind of unfortunate. As they're gonna go out to Bearskin, I'm not gonna be able to sack this. I'm gonna sack this off. Which, to be honest, in hindsight, I could have gone like sacked off something else and gone into an Amorous and got the Healing Wish off, but for Iron Hands to clean up this game. But whatever, it probably was the better play. But I'm gonna go with the Oxus Speed, and I believe I am going to Psycho Boost. Yep, Psycho Boost. Take that out real quick and. They go into Terapagos, and I am going to focus. I'm going to Psycho Boost to try to get the kill here, but I end up missing, which sucks, especially since it turns out that I made a misplay. The play was always to knock off into Extreme Speed, or knock off, yeah, because I don't know what it is. Every time in the calc, like the Terapagos gets weirdly messed up with like, not every time, but a lot of times, like it's really annoying the calc against Terapagos, which kind of screwed me up because I had it in the wrong form when I was calcing it. So, but yeah, I killed it with Psycho Boost crit. So that Psycho Boost actually didn't kill, but I was perfectly fine because even if they killed me here, I had like this still had the Endure, Cussed Up Berry, Moonblast, so with the Namor, so I would have been fine. So yeah, GG to I, and yeah, let's cut to the next match. So this week we are up against Saigai for week 4, and their team is kind of terrifying because I don't really switch into, like, I don't not switch any. I don't I have a really tough time breaking through their team. I think like if they bring the right team, I have to like it's really going to be really difficult to deal with. So if the team consists of Terra, Water, Ogre, Pond, Wellspring, Roaring Moon, Heatran, Petra, Diancie, Cresselia, Terra, Hippowdon, Cinccino, Conkeldurr, Magneton, and Lapras. Now, I struggle against that Terra, Water, Ogre Pond because my water plus Grass Resist is Serena. Gouging Fire doesn't resist it, and plus if they Terra Water, it's just going to get boosted on top of that, plus the Spadef boost, it's going to be really tough. Terra Crest is also really annoying for me to deal with. It's because it could be like Thunder Wave shenanigans and stuff like that. Really difficult. Plus Hippowdon is really annoying for Gouging Fire. And Petra is really annoying because they can get up hazards and try to beat me that way as well. Because my spinners aren't really built to deal with that. And Tentacle didn't have a good matchup anyway. And then finally, my fairy type is an Amorous, so Roaring Moon could look really scary as well. But luckily I have Iron Hands though, but let's go into the match, like the team and ring. So if you can see off the top of my head, I'm Iron Hands, Lumberry, Swords Dance, Dream Punch, Thunder Punch, Earthquake. This investment allows me to 2-hit KO at +2 2-hit KO Petrant, max defense Petrant, max HP. So really good there. Lum is there for Petrant kind of situation, or Heatran, Flame Body plus Will-O-Wisp. So yeah, pretty good there. Then we got Iron Jugs here, Dark Pulse, Dragon, Flash Cannon, Dragon Tail Taunt. This is a really weird set, but I kind of stand by it. This prevents Crest from sweeping me unless it's Terra Fairy. This is also to help, the Dragon Tail is also to help with Ogre Pond Wellspring and Roaring Moon from trying to set up on me. That was also part of the reason. Flash Cannon is also really good for dealing with Diancie. Breaking down Diancie for gouging too. So, and Dark Pulse is just good coverage anyway. I actually don't really do damage to Conkeldurr, but they don't know that. So hopefully they don't know that. But yeah. Then we got Gouging Fire, Boost Energy, Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Scale Shot, Earthquake. This hits their team extremely hard. Like that's kind of the idea around it, was just to get a D-Dance up and hit as hard as possible against their team to try to break through their core. So Scale Shot was nice because of the fact that it was meant for the speed boost for Ogre Pond Wellspring. So if they, I could get the speed boost. That was kind of the idea around it, so I could kill something while getting the speed boost to be able to deal with like Ogre Pond Wellspring Roaring in the next turn. Next is Deoxys Speed here. Psycho Boost Superpower, Knockoff Taunt. Taunt was just here to keep things low, like Crest, Hippowdon, stuff like that, right? Ogerpon Wellspring too, if it tries to synthesis up. So yeah, really like that. And then Serena here, Cobra Berry, U-Turn, Petal Blizzard, Low Kick, Knockoff. The Cobra's there for the Roaring Moon, Acrobatics. That was kind of all it was there for. I could have gone like another like item for the Ogerpon Wellspring, but if it's U-Turn, I'm not as worried about it, to be honest, as I am with like a setup set. So yeah, I just went with Cobra just to help it give me another option to do with the Roaring Moon. But yeah. And last but not least, we got Calm Mind, Taunt, Moonblast, Earth Power, Terra Water, and Namorous. I went with Terra Water because I was going to go Terra Dragon, but I decided like Terra Water was better, even though it just creates like the 50-50 mind game of Ogerpon Wellspring, but just in general, otherwise it's really good against their team. They don't really deal with it too well. So yeah, let's go into the match. As you can see, they end up bringing Terra, Ogerpon, Roaring Moon, Heatran, Petron, Diancie, I believe it's Terra Electric Crest, Hippowdon, Cinccino, Conkeldurr, Magneton, and oh wait, what am I saying? Oh my god, I'm being so stupid again. Terra Water, Ogerpon Wellspring, Roaring Moon, Diancie, Petron, Terra Electric Crest, I believe, and Conkeldurr. As we'll see in a second, as I'll say at least in a second. They are in fact Terra Electric Crest, yeah. So they're gonna leave with Diancie. I believe I leave with Jugs, and I believe I actually click Flash Cannon just because I want this thing weakened for gouging. Get off as much damage as possible, and if they're defensive, they're not gonna kill me, which they don't. As you show their leftovers, and now this is extremely weakened, and they show to be protected. I'm just gonna Flash Cannon again. I'm not gonna overpredict, just kill this thing here, as they could easily go out to Ogerpon Wellspring, but that's not the worst thing in the world. So I'm going to Flash Cannon off, and I'm going to go for a Dragon Tail to prevent it from setting up, as they U-turn back into Diancie, which kind of sucks, as they get back up to a higher amount, as I'm going to go for another Flash Cannon, but that's fine, as I'm going to go for another Flash Cannon here, I think. Yeah, go for another Flash Cannon, as they're going to Scale Shot, interesting, so they might be like a weird set, I don't know, they could be like, I don't know what kind of set they're going to be, but I'm going to go to Namorous here. I'm expecting to kind of Scarf this game the way they're playing, because that way they could get at least maybe Bandit or Scarf. I don't know if they Scale Shot seemed kind of weird in this matchup, so I'm just going to Moonblast as they Scale Shot again. So leading me to believe their choice this game. So, but I'm going to Terra Water here on the Diancie and Calm Mind up. Just very fine, because I'm going to eat this Diamond Storm up, and I'm going to be able to kill this with Earth Power here. So this is dead. Really good. Here, Gouging is looking really good. Ogerpon Wellspring is really annoying though at this point, so I'm going to have to go out to Serena here. But Serena is literally just going to be here for this, so I think that's in a pretty good position. I just got to be able to deal with this well. So I'm going to... they go for U-turn. I really wanted to pivot out on the U-turn, but I decided it wasn't worth it in case they did just click power up or every casual. I'm gonna Petal Blizzard here, as a Psychic, and I'm gonna knock off, but I don't actually knock off the Rocky Helmet, which kind of sucks. But I'm gonna go to Namorous here. I'm gonna taunt on the Moonlight or Thunderwave, which they show to be Thunderwave, and I believe I Moonblast here. Yeah, expecting the Ogerpon Wellspring to come in. Now I'm in a tough situation here because of the fact that I don't have my switch into Ogerpon Wellspring anymore. But luckily they miss against Iron Hands, because now that's gonna be what I'm gonna be using my Iron Hands for. Is I'm gonna SD on the I'm gonna Thunder Punch to prevent it in case it encores. They're gonna make the chain eyes. I'm gonna SD, and I'm gonna try to break through this Petron here, as they don't get the poison, which is really clutch. Even though I was still lump, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But they go into Ogerpon Wellspring. This thing is really annoying. And I'm gonna die to Ivy Cudgel here, and now I'm gonna go to Gouging Fire, and I'm gonna drag it into up, because at this point, like, if they Ivy Cudgel, here I outspeed everything and I probably kill everything. But it's still very scary. But they U-turn, which is really, really good for me, because I take minimal damage, and that means I could just Flare Blitz here and get a kill. And I get a kill there, and Conkeldurr comes out here, and I'm just going to Flare Blitz again and kill this thing. I'm gonna bring it down low. Luckily, it didn't Mach Punch, by the way. I don't know if they had it or not, but I'm just gonna Earthquake and kill Ogre Pound Wellspring. So gouging, putting in the work here. Ending up with a plus. We're ending up with a 3-0 this week, and Gouging Fire really putting in the work with Booster. So I'm finding like these offensive gougings putting in like a lot of work here. So did the bulky one last week though too. But yeah, this offensive gouging was really good this game to be able to break through their team. I didn't even get to bring Deoxys onto the field, but I felt like it was, even if I, with the fact that with what was left also, as soon as Crest went down, I felt pretty like Deoxys could sweep as long as I'm able to hit my move against the Ogre Pound Wellspring. So yeah, that's this week. On to the next week. So we are now over halfway through the season, for the regular season at least, and we are up against Abriel. Yes. She has a Terra Torn T, Hisuian Samurai, Goldango, Excadrill, Terra Pheasantipity, Tyranitar, G-Zapdos, and Whimsicott and Smeargle. So, and as you can see this team on the side, we actually cooked a lot for this match. So Sandstorm's making his debut. Makes sense against the Sand team. Air Balloon, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Poison Jab, Rapid Spin. At the moment, I didn't have the greatest ground resist because of the fact that my ground resist were Serena and Iron Jugs. So I feel like Air Balloon was kind of nice on here as well. I believe this had enough investment so it lives a +2 Iron Head Life Orb, Adamant maybe, or Jolly Iron Head from Excadrill, something to keep in mind. Plus I also really like the fact that this attack investment means I'm able to OHKO it back. I'm pretty sure, plus do a lot of damage to other ones, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, felt really good about that. And also the speed control it gives. Then we got Sketch's speed, the Deoxys speed, Psycho Boost, Superpower, Knockoff, Extreme Speed. Just went all these attacks because it really hits their team really hard. I went Knockoff for the Goldango, but I'm not. That's the only thing that really kind of deals with me, I guess, if it's Colbert, because like I'm in a really bad position because I'm not going to do that much damage to it. But it's fine because I feel like I have a lot of pressure with Sand Slash already. In the next one, on Namorous, we're bringing Superpower, Play Rough, Terra Blast, Ground, Protect. This is really good against their team. They don't really deal with this well. Protect is to get the extra leftovers damage, leftovers recovery, plus like sand turns. But the only way they really have to deal with this is the Torn T, to be honest. Or I guess Whimsicott is the other one. But otherwise, this thing goes really like in on our team. Superpower to get the defense boost plus attack boost on the Excadrill and stuff like that. Terra Ground to destroy the Pheasantipity, Goldango, stuff like that. Superpower is really good against Hisuian Samurai too, and T-Tar. With me constantly getting the boost and attack, like defense and attack, I'm going to be in a really good position other against Whimsicott and Torn T. So I need to keep that in mind. Also, if they land a Bleak Windstorm, I get this, and they get the speed drop. I actually get the speed buff because of Contrary, which would be really clutch in his end game, in an end game kind of situation, or breaking like for sweeping kind of situation. So, next we got our second Air Balloon user, Gouging Fire. Giant Dance, Heat Crash, Double Kick, Morning Sun. I'm Double Kick for a couple reasons. One, their fire resist are weak to fighting. Hisuian Samurai, Tyranitar are the two fire resist, and they don't like double kick. And also for Smeargle, for in case of Sash lead Smeargle, I think it's really good that way too. So it's something to keep in mind. But this looks really good. Outspeed, max speed, adamant Excadrill currently. So at +2, I will outspeed that in Sand as well. Next we got Serena, Rocky Helmet, U-Turn, Pedal Blizzard, Triple Axle, Knockoff. Rocky Helmet is there for the Hisuian Samurai. I decided not to go Rapid Spin this game because of the fact that like they're gonna Goldango's gonna be switching in on me anyway, so I felt like it was just better to have like this coverage moves anyway. Triple Axle is really nice for Torn T anyway too. So yeah. Last but not least, we got Registeel, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, Thunder Wave, Terra Electric. I decided to go with this to be able to help deal with like things like Torn T. Like specifically Torn T was like kind of scary, so because I didn't have a flying resist at this point with the team I was bringing, so I decided to throw this on the team. It also helps with Goldango too, and Whimsicott and Pheasantipity, so that's kind of why I went with it. But yeah, let's go into the match here. They show to be Torn T, which by the way, it's Terra Torn Ground, 20 Terra Ground, Student Samurai Goldango, Excadrill Tyranitar, and Terra Grass Pheasantipity. My team, well, we just went over it, but yeah, I believe at this I end up leading with. They lead with 20, and I think I end up leading with Serena. Yeah, unfortunately, which sucks. But so I'm gonna have to switch out here into the Registeel. As they go for the knockoff, so it gets rid of my leftovers. Really annoying for this, for keeping this longevity. As they U-turn, and I believe I end up going for the Heavy Slam. Yeah, just to get damage off. Actually, it does a good amount. I didn't realize it does that much to Excadrill, but we are offensive Registeel this week. So I'm gonna go to Sand Slash on the Earthquake to show off the first Air Balloon. So I get the immunity right, and I am going to go for the Earthquake or Stone Edge. I go for the Stone Edge, predicting the 20. So we're in a really good position. I believe I go back into Registeel because I don't want the Air Balloon broken, and I'm gonna go. They go for a U-turn as they're gonna go right back into Excadrill. Now, this might be a dumb play, but I was kind of making a prediction, right? I think they're gonna go for Iron Head to break or Rapid Spin to break the Sand Slash Air Balloon, but nope. So I stay in and try to kill it with Earthquake, but nope, I died to Earthquake, so I'm in a really bad position now. But it's fine. I'm gonna show off my second Air Balloon Pokemon, Gouging Fire, which looks really good. So I'm gonna go for a Dragon Dance here, and I'm at +1. This double kick should kill here, so that's really good. Here I'm gonna take some Sand Chip, which sucks, but oh well. As I'm gonna kill this with double kick, really clutch. Now we're in a really good position. I still have the Air Balloon up, so he can't really go Excadrill here either. So they're gonna go out into Pheasantipity. Now I make a misplay here. So the correct play was to Dragon Dance again, but so I could ask the Excadrill in Sand, and to get rid of any rolls on the Pheasantipity from Heat Crash. But I decided I want to keep the Air Balloon up and thought that this would kill, and it doesn't. And a Rocky Helmet plus Moonblast plus Sand Chip plus Balloon's gone now, so now we're in a pretty tough position. So now Excadrill can revenge me at this point. So I wish I just Dragon Dance the second time and I would have been in a really good position, but now I'm pretty low. I'm in a situation where Gouging doesn't sweep. I definitely would have swept if that wasn't if I made the second D-Dance play, I would have won right there on the spot, but it is what it is. They go for the Rapid Spin to get the Speed Boost, which really sucks because now Sand Slash Air Balloon's gone, but it's fine because I am going to Earthquake, and then I'm going to Stone Edge because I outspeed because I am in Sand, so which is perfectly fine with me. But they end up going for the Terra Ground, which is really good play on the Stone Edge, and they're going to bring me pretty low. Luckily they didn't get a speed drop, but because I'm still able to hit like an Earthquake off right now to get some damage off on this thing, and luckily now Sand is gone, so Drill isn't really that scary now, but Torn T is, because I don't really have a great way to deal with it now at this point. Going to Student Samurai, I'm going to go to Serena here, and I believe, do I Petal Blizzard or I knock off? I forgot. I Petal Blizzard, get some damage off here, as I'm going to knock off to get some more damage to get this in range of like a Enamorous, but they Thunder Wave and get me parried, which sucks, and they show Hex. I still want to get this damage off for Enamorous, and I get parried again, which really, really sucks, because now Serena's paralyzed, pretty much dead now, and Gouging Fire is super low, so like I'm in a really bad position now. So I'm just going to sack up Gouging. Maybe they'll make a play, I don't know, but yeah, that sucked. You know what? In hindsight, I could have actually gone to the sacked off Serena and gone Gouging and Moonlighted up. I felt like Serena was still important for Excadrill and the Student Samurai though. But I'm gonna go on to this, and I'm gonna actually Enamorous. I'm gonna Terra Ground, Terra Blast as they sack off Excadrill, which makes sense. Because Excadrill isn't that great now, but they go out into Torn T. And I'm going to, they're going to Terra Blast, bring me low, well, about half, but I'm going to Super Power Up, try to get the KO, which they live on 1%, which, oh my god, are you serious? Like, bro. Which probably meant that in hindsight, I should have just, Terra Blast, but I wanted the defense boost because it's a Student Samurai Aqua Jet, could be really bad, but I'm going to Protect here. That was that living on 1% really was, like, tough. because I'm in a really bad position now. But now I'm outside of range of Terrorbox Ground, but they go for the Bleak Wing and they miss. So it kind of evens out a little bit with the living at 1% plus the Bleak one, right? Miss, because Torn should have, like, it was a roll, should have been dead kind of thing, but it is what it is, it's Pokemon kind of thing, so yeah, Bleakwind, that's the problem with Torn though, also it misses its moves a lot, so yeah, I'm gonna get back up, and I apologize, and I'm just gonna Terrorblast Ground, take this thing out, and this leaves me just a superpower left to kill the Hisuian Samurai, as they are not able to get off the last move, or like going to Hisuian Samurai and get the last move, which I couldn't turn off timer, by the way. They turned on timer and I could try to turn it off, right, but I can't because it was them who turned it on. So they timered themselves. They already lost anyway at this point because Hisuian Samurai, like, superpower kills it, right? So I was still in a good, like, I still was in a really good position, but yeah. And Amber's putting in the final work to bring this game back after I, like, made some couple misplays. So, but yeah, we ended up pulling at the dub here, which is really nice. So yeah, let's go into the next match. So we're back now. We're up against Fact Luigi. Really good battler, and they have Urshifu Single Strike, Galarian Slowking, Cinderace, Terra, Lando Eye, Empoleon Comfy, Terra Superior, Rotom Frost, Dunsparce, and Wigglytuff. As you see on the left, this is what I ended up bringing. I brought Kebuberry, Serena, U-Turn, Petal Blizzard, Knockoff High Jump Kick. I'm bringing this really, like, Registeel's good set, Body Press, Iron Defense, Rest, Sleep Talk, Spit F, Terran Flying. They don't really deal with that at all, to be honest, if I'm able to get this up. Then we got Gouging Fire, Dragon Dance, Heat Crash, Dragon Claw, Morning Sun with the Lumberry. Lumberry is for the G-King / Superior paralysis situation, was kind of the idea. So, and the Dunsparce Glare, so I really like that. Enamorous here is a really interesting set. So we're calling my Moonblast Earth Power Agility. The idea is to set up on, like, something as they switch into G-King. I take the Sludge Bomb, get the weakness policy off, Earth Power takes it out. So that's kind of the idea around it, and I can get the Agility off too to try to, and if I really feel like this is the end game, I could also, like, Agility off a Terra Ground and get it up the +2 speed and kind of just sweep from there as well. So yeah, I really like that sort of aspect in this game. So then we got Deoxys Speed, Psycho Boost, Thunderbolt, Nasty Plot, Thunder Wave. I decided to go with this because Urshifu doesn't take a +2 Thunderbolt from this, so that was kind of the idea. I didn't want to risk, and plus the +2 Psycho Boost is really nice for the G-King. But yeah, so that was really good there. And then last but not least, we got Iron Hands here. Dream Punch, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Swords Dance. Heavy Slam's there for the comfy in case it gets out of hand, but I feel like this is a really good set here. Puts on a lot of pressure on their team, so. But also is really here to help against with the Urshifu Single and the Cinderace too. But yeah, and this matchup is really tough because my team's pretty weak to ground to begin with, so playing against Terra Lando when I get Terra Ground and just, like, destroy my team is kind of scary. So yeah, let's go into the game. They end up bringing Terra Ground Lando and Terra Rock Superior, which is pretty good bring on their part. But they lead Cinderace, I lead Serena, which is, again, terrible matchup, so I'm going to have to switch out immediately to Gouging Fire. Because I actually take the hit, and they miss the Gunk Shot, which sucks for them, to be honest. As I'm going to go in for a Dragon Dance, and I'm going to be able to just hit this, I think, just to weaken this down, as they go for a Heat Crash and bring this all the way down as they roar me out into Serena. So now, I'm going with Serena, and the play is to click Petal Blizzard. But apparently, I don't kill with Knockoff, and they get a Brox, which sucks, because, and they're going to go to Cinderace expecting me to Rapid Spin, but I don't have Rapid Spin, so this really sucks for Gouging, and it sucks for Enamorous too. I made that really bad misplay there. But I get rid of the Scarf, which is really clutch for Deoxys Speed, and for other things as well, such as Enamorous, so, more of, like, I guess more Gouging Fire, but they U-turn out, they go into Lando, and I'm like, okay, well, shoot, let's go to Serena, because that's my best way to deal with it. as they're just going to Psychic on the play there, and I am just going to kill this Empoleon, I believe. I Petal Blizzard, take this thing out. So, not too bad, but I'm in like a really rough position because I'm taking rocks now, which I shouldn't be because I just made a horrible play. I'm going to go back in Iron Hands as they could just really U-turn again and get right back into Lando and put on more pressure, because at this point Lando has no... Lando has like almost no switch-ins here. So, I'm going to go out to Serena again. That's what it's meant to do here, as they get Psychic here, but they Earth Power, and we're just out of range of a second one, which is nice, but they Terra Ground, and I'm pretty sure at this point the way they're playing it is they're definitely Scarf, so that sucks. So I'm going to go to Namorous. I'm going to Calm Mind. This is at least a free position for me to Calm Mind and try to set up. I'm going to go Namorous, Calm Mind, and what I should do is I should Agility. But I Calm Mind again, and they just Chili, which is great play on their part. If I Agility, I would have been in a really, really good position, because they wouldn't be able to deal with this at all, like straight up at all. But they go into Cinderace, and now I'm hoping, oh, maybe like I live a Pyro Ball kind of situation if I Terra Ground, or like they Gunk Shot, right? But no, Pyro Ball takes me out. And so we're in a really bad position. I wasted my Terra on this Namorous, which was a really bad play because Registeel still went in on their team at this point. But I'm taking 25% from rocks, plus the snow is up, which sucks. So, and they Gunk Shot, and I Dragon Dance up, but I can't Morning Sun this off because snow is up. So that's really bad. I want to get up a second D-Dance, but maybe I could get like a Gunk Miss or something like that. But no, that's not going to happen again. But so this is a really bad position here. I'm just going to kill this. I probably should have just killed it before, but it is what it is, because now Gouging's dead to rocks. Lando kind of can just clean up at this point. The only thing that stays in its way is this fact that my Deoxys does outspeed Scarf Lando. So, but as soon as that goes away, we kind of just lose to Lando because I didn't save the Terra for Registeel. So I'm going to Nasty Pot, expecting the G-King to come in. I'm just going to try to hit this as hard as possible, try to break through it, which I almost do. And then they show Thunder Wave, and that means it's a wrap because Lando just wins at this point. So I'm going to miss the Psycho Boost, costing me a point of differential, but that's fine, as a Chilly Reception out into Lando, and I'm just going to be able to clean me up from here. Like, there's nothing I could do. It speeds me, and I just die. Yep. And I believe Registeel is maybe the only thing that could take a hit, but I am Body Press, and I didn't have setup yet, so definitely don't take this on. Yep, I am down, and I am able to do a little bit, and then I am dead here. Yeah, so Lando just cleaned my team. So with that happening, I immediately was like, nah, no, that's not it. So I end up making some transaction. I think I make a transaction, yeah, because something dropped that I wasn't expecting to drop, and I'm just gonna let you know, I end up dropping Iron Dragulus from Mandibuzz, which was a lot better for my team. Gives me a lot better defensive answer to ghost types. It gives me a really good answer to ground types, so that's really good for fixing up the team. But yeah, let me cut to the next match. So we are on to week 7 against Techno, and Techno's team consists of Dragapult, Iron Treads, Terra, Iron Moth, Uxie, Urshifu Rapid, Overquote, Terra, Namorous, Bellybolt, and Ditto, which kind of annoying, some of the Pokemon to deal with, but we're going to have to get through it. So, first off, we got Fizz, Def, Mandibuzz. We're starting off with that. That was here to help with a couple of things, was like Urshifu Rapid, Physical, Dragapult, Overquill a little bit, stuff like that, Treads. So that's kind of what I was going with. Then we got Gouging Fire, Dragon Dance, Heat Crash, Dragon Claw, Morning Sun. It can deal with their team pretty well this game, if I'm able to get chip off on the right things. The one thing I need to make sure is I don't get status, because Uxie could be really annoying for status, and Belly Bolt. So I need to play around that. And I'm expecting Dragapult to be Choice Scarf to deal with to help deal with the Gouging Fire too. Next we got Patty Cake Champ, the Iron Hands, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and Swords Dance. This thing can do really well too. Just gotta be able to play. Hopefully, I got the speed creep right on the Namorous T, but otherwise it looks really good. Puts on a lot of pressure. I'm able to eat an Earthquake too from Iron Treads, which is really nice too. But this thing gets really good. It also helps with the Urshifu Rapid as well. So, and it can also help with the Iron Moth if need be too. Then we got Registeel, Spit After Registeel, Body Press, Heavy Slam, Iron Defense, Rest, Terra Water. This thing literally goes in on the team. That's why I'm actually not bringing Namorous this week, because Registeel really goes in on the team if I'm able to play this right with the Terra Water. They don't deal with it at all. Then we got Tentacruel, Flip Turn, Toxic, Surf, Haze. I'm the Shuka because I'm expecting them to be a Terra Ground, Iron Moth. And hindsight, I think I should go on Fear Body, but I went Liquid Ooze last second before the game because of the fact that I was thinking about like Drain Punch and Urshifu Rapid or Draining Kiss and Amorous T, like a really like Calm Minds kind of set. But yep, that's something to keep in mind though for this match. And then last but not least, we got Deoxys Speed, Psycho Boost, Stomping Tantrum, Knockoff, Extreme Speed. Stomping Tantrum is nice because Psycho Boost into Stomping Tantrum and Overcoat does a lot because it doubles because of the immunity, right? So I need to keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go into the match. As I am going to show, well, I'm going to tell you that they are Terra Ground, Iron Moth, and Terra Poison and Namorous T, which Namorous T, Terra Poison might be because of the Namorous, because of my own Namorous. So, but they lead Iron Treads. I'm going to lead Iron Hands. These lead matchups haven't been bet, but I eat an Earthquake, and I'm just going to, I believe, Drain Punch on the Dragapult switch in here, which is fine. And I believe I go out into Mandibuzz or Registeel. Go to Registeel, yeah. Because I don't really care too much about being Will-O-Wisp too. As they go for the U-turn, and they're going to go into the Moth here. As they show to be Booster Energy Speed, I'm going to go straight onto Tentacruel here, because that's my play 100% of the time. I could have Terra Water to help deal with it, but I think it's fine. As they Fire Dance, and I am going to Flip Turn out, I believe. I Surf? No, I Surf here. And I get a crit, which sucks. But also, what really sucks for me was the fact that I didn't bring Clear Body, because it would have walled the Acid Spray. But it's unfortunate. But I'm going to go into Mandibuzz, and at this point, I try to sack it off a little bit. As they go for the Fire Dance and get the special attack boost, so now it's like really in a bad situation. I'm going to go with Tentacruel here. And all I need is for it to live. I think I need it to. I think it's already in range of Extreme Speed because of that. Otherwise, I would have probably had to sack off Mandibuzz right there to get like Tentacruel back in to do that. But because it's in range of Extreme Speed from Deoxys Speed, I'm still in a good position. I'm still all right. And now he's gotten every single Fire Stance boost, which has like been really good for him. But Extreme Speed is going to take it out with Deoxys Speed, which is really clutch for me. Thank God, because that was really scary. They go into Overquill. I'm going to go out into my Registeel or Iron Hand. I'm going to go Iron Hands here, see what it wants to do. They go for the Crunch. I'm able to chew that. And I believe I try to SD. Or do I think I SD here. I SD here as I'm going to try to go for a Drain Punch here to get like a lot of recovery back, expecting the Toxic to come out. But they go to Overcoat, bring my attack down by 1. It's actually, wait, what? Okay, that's a weird play. I guess I didn't want to be Toxic. But I catch the Overcoat, pivot in, and I get to Iron Defense up. And they shouldn't have any way to really deal with this, but they're going to Volt Switch out. And I believe I Heavy Slam here, expecting the Dragapult and Namorous. Oh no, Iron Defense again. I think I Heavy Slam here. And they show to be Specs Earth Power, which kind of sucks. I'm able to like bring it pretty low, but I think I need to make the play into Mandibuzz, but I actually make a mistake and actually Terra here, which is like, you would think it's not really a mistake, but then you realize that I don't have a Fairy Resist anymore. So Choice Specs and Namorous Moonblast is going to hurt, and I'm going to Volt Switch out. And I've already shown that I'm rest, so I'm probably going to be like not Sleep Talk. So I'm in a situation where I'm going to have to sack off Mandibuzz anyway. So I think like not tearing the registry would have been really better, a lot better there, and I could have just gone Manda Buzz before on the Earth Power. Because now I'm gonna go into gouging. I'm gonna see what they want to do. I think I Heat Crash. Yeah, just to like get the damage off or get a kill. So they take the hit with Overcoat pretty well. I'm gonna go to Registeel here. They Barb Barrage. Now that it's pretty spammable. Now that I don't have a Steel type here because Registeel Terrid, and I'm going to go for another Sleep Burn, and they're gonna go for a Volt Switch, and I'm gonna go for Heavy Slam trying to catch the Enamorus, I think, but they go for the Parabolic Charge, which kind of sucks. So, and I'm gonna boost this too, so I'm in like a pretty bad position, especially since it's Rocky Helmet. So we're in a pretty bad position, and I'm just gonna go to Iron Hands here as they make even better play in Toxic now, and so we're in the behind right now. Techno's outplaying me a lot right now. So Volt Switch. By the way, Techno also made the prep doc for that I've been using for this all these leagues. So just it's in the description below. So definitely check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Ice Punch, predicting the Dragapult to come in, which is good. And then I am going to predict it again, or do I Ice Punch again? Do I Dream Punch? I think I Ice Punch again. Yeah, Ice Punch again. I'm gonna Rocky Helmet, chip damage, which sucks. So I'm in a really bad position right now. So I believe they slack off as I think I Ice Punch again, predicting the Dragapult to come in, the Volt Switch Dragapult, but they make the better play and slack off, and I'm in a really bad position now. I'm going to Deoxys here and try to break through this a little bit. So I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost as they go into Overquill, and which is fine, but I'm going to go for the Stomping Tantrum, try to weaken this down, expecting them to overpredict with the I bring it really low, and they Barb Barrage, and they get the Poison, which sucks, but I'm going to keep this around, because the reason I'm going to keep this around, because this thing is basically dead anyway, and I want to keep this for as long as possible, because I need this to help with Enamorus and like Dragapult and like a bunch of other things. Registeel isn't that great for this endgame because of the fact that it's too passive, as they show to be Cussed Up, and I'm like, wow, thank God I did that, because now Registeel is a really good position. Or they crunch, get their crit, it's fine. I was going to die to 2 anyway, I think, or close to. Yeah, I was going to die anyway to 2. So, I sacked that off, and I'm going to go to Gouging Fire. I'm going to try to set up here, because that's my only way of winning this game at this point. I try to be set up on this. They switch out, which is really good for me, because I was scared of like getting the poison from Barb Barrage. Even though I'm Lum, it would have been really bad, but I'm going to try to go for the second one, because I need the second one for the Dragapult, in case it is Scarf Dragapult kind of situation, I believe. As they show the Toxic, and I'm the Lum, and I was like, oh man, is this a roll? Is this a roll for Heat Crash to kill? But then I should have realized they don't have max defense because of the fact that they outspeed my Iron Hands. So I killed that, and I'm gonna kill this Overquill here with the Heat Crash, as they bring me down to only +1, and they go into Dragapult, and I'm just going to Dragon Claw. That killed that, and I think we just win at this point, because we're in a, I think, yeah, and they end up forfeiting to not waste any time, as Entrance goes down and Enamorus goes down to the Heat Crash. So yeah, wow, we pull out the dub there on the back of Gouging Fire. I was not in a good position, and it pulled the game back for me so much. Wow. Gouging Fire is a menace, so yeah. But GG to Techno, and we're gonna move on to the next week. So we are on to week 8, and I made another transaction. I don't know if I'm gonna regret it or not, but I am dropping Serena and Kricketune for Shaman. I wanted another really good bulky grass type to help with the team, to deal with like waters and grounds a lot better, even better. So that was kind of the reason why I went with it. And I was like, I felt like I didn't really need webs too much for the rest of the season. There was like, like the webs option was nice, but like at the same time I was like, I feel like the webs, I don't know if I could catch somebody off with webs again, and it's super like not the best. Like it's I just gotta get like, I don't know how to explain it. Everybody has removal now. I didn't feel like Haunter was gonna be the best at spinning it a lot, so I don't know if I wanted to waste a whole Pokemon slot for just to bring webs kind of thing. So that's kind of why I went with this. Then, so yeah, we're up against Cochrane though. Week 8. We're in a pretty good position. I think we clinched playoffs at this point already. But they have Spectrier, Quacklevolt, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, Lando T, Klefki, Terra Chi-Yu, Terra Galarian, Slowbro, Kamala, Electros, and Servine. Now, going into this team, I did not feel that great. I felt like there was a lot of threats on their team that deal with me pretty well. Terra Chi-Yu was really scary. Quacklevolt was very scary. Spectrier is terrifying, even though I have a Mandibuzz. So we're going to show off the team, though. We got Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Swords Dance, Iron Hands to try to break through their team a little bit. Then we got Deoxys Speed, Outspeeding, +1 Chi-Yu was Psycho Boost, Superpower, Knockoff, Extreme Speed, Life Orb, Catching Fire with Heat Crush, Lum, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Morning Sun. Lum is there for Klefki, and G-Bro kind of situation, Electros, stuff like that. Right, so then we got Choice Scarf and Namorous, Moonblast, Earth Power, Superpower, Healing Wish. Healing Wish is really nice for Gouging Fire, Iron Hands, Deoxys Speed, just to hit really hard too. Superpower is best to actually hits Chi-Yu a little bit harder if it doesn't Terra, so then Earth Power, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we got the last 2 mons. We got Mandibuzz here, U-Turn, Knockoff, Defog, Roost, Spit F set to help with the Chi-Yu and Spectrier, and last but not least we got Fizz Def, Shaman, Rocky Helmet, Synthesis, Sea Flare, Earth Power, Baton Pass. So yeah, let's go into the match here. So they end up showing, I believe, Terra Fire Chi-Yu and Terra Flying G-Bro. So very interesting. I'm going to lead off with the Namers, try to put on as much pressure as possible. As they go into Ogerpon, I'm going to go straight into Iron Hands, which is my answer to this. As they go Ivy Cudgel, and I'm able to eat that pretty well. I believe I SD here. Do I SD? Think I SD? Or do I Ice Punch or Dream Punch? I SD here, yeah. So I could kill this here, but I don't know if it's worth it to take this damage off. So I'm gonna go with Shaman here on the Earthquake here. As a Earthquake, do a little bit, and I'm gonna Baton Pass out on the U-turn. So I'm a little bit above half, which is fine. But I'm gonna Baton Pass out, I believe, on the Chi-Yu. Oh no, I Seed Flare. Oh man, I miss. Okay, never mind. Baton Pass was definitely the better play, but I Seed Flare in case they were set up or anything like that, or for like trying to get like the G-Bro in case the G-Bro comes in, I get Earth Power afterwards. But now I'm gonna have to go Mandy, but luckily they click Dark Pulse and they show to beat Specs, so that's really scary. As I'm gonna get a U-turn out here, and they go as I break the Sturdy on the Ogerpon Cornerstone, which is really nice, and I get to go into Deoxys here, and I believe I Psycho Boost here. I believe. Yeah, I Psycho Boost here. So I do a decent amount. And then I show, though, it shows to be like max Spit F 80, which is really sucks because this is going to be really nice. So I'm going to knock off to hopefully try to be able to get it and get rid of the AV so I can deal with it better. But they Sludge Bomb and bring me really low. So now I'm in like limited switch-ins here. Unlimited time to click moves. So I'm going to knock off again, trying to kill it. As they go into the Ogerpon Cornerstone, I'm going to save this and go to Iron Hands here. Just because I wanted to keep the Deoxys for one more hit at least, or 2 more hits, I guess, right? And they go into Lando T on the Iron Hands. I believe I go into Shame. Oh no, I go for the Ice Punch here, predicting the over prediction, and they show to be Yachi, which kind of sucks, but it's really good pro plays for the Iron Hands. And I believe I switch out now to Mandibuzz. I'm gonna try to get the defog off here. Probably wasn't the best play because the Spectrier there, but they Stone Edge as I get the defog off, and I believe I defog again here in case they want to get rocks up, but they just kill me with Stone Edge. So we're in a pretty tough situation now. Mandibuzz is gone, so I'm gonna have to go into Namorous. But G-Sobro is still, like, with the Terra Fairy, I'm able to Terra Kill from where it is because I was able to weaken it so much, and the AV is gone, which is really clutch. So I'm gonna just kill this here. Namorous is gonna claim one right now. And then they go back into G-Sobro, I believe, or they go into Chi-Yu here. and I have to kind of pick a sack here, I think, which I believe is going to be Iron Hands because I don't need it as much for the Ogre Pawn. But actually, take that flamethrower, so I'm gonna actually go into gouging, I think, because I quad resist that, so I'm able to take that pretty well. They Terrifier flamethrower, which is fine, but I believe what I could have done was I should have Dragon Dance here, because Heat Crash would have +1 Heat Crash would have taken this out. It would have been a really good position, but I made the misplay of that as I going to sack off the hands here. And I'm going to go out into Enamorous again, and what I could have done was Earth Power, predicting the switch, but I Moonblast again, and I do 25% towards a roll now. Special attack drop was nice at least, but they're going to have to, like, they go into Chi-Yu, and I'm going to have to get some damage off, and I'm in a pretty bad position now. Bring it a little bit low, but now it dies to 2 more, it can't switch into Moonblast anymore, so... Because I'm going to sack up Deoxys. It doesn't really feel that great this rest of the game, so... And I'm going to go out to gouging. I'm going to Dragon Dance here. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to Dragon Dance, and I believe I'm going to Dragon Claw, because I don't know. So here's the thing. I kept debating for a while. If it's Jolly, I think it outspeeds me when we're at, like, the same speed. Like, the same speed, like, boost rate. So, I think I... Dragon Claw, yeah, to 2-shot it, because at that point I saw, like, oh, this does a lot more than I expected. I think I might just lose here. The right play might have been to Dragon Dance again, but I'm not sure at this point. But the earlier play was the Dragon Dance on the Lando, switching in and get the Heat Crash off there. But I'm pretty weak now. What I could have done, actually, in hindsight, I should have Morning Sun, right? Because I definitely took the Aqua Step pretty well. Wow, did I choke this game? Man, because that shows, Spectre shows to be Scarf, and now I just get swept by it. Wow. I didn't even realize that before. Yeah, I should have just Morning Sun on the Aqua Step. I didn't think about it, but yeah. If I had Morning Sun on the Aqua Step, I was in a really good position because I could just Morning Sun it off, but yeah, Spectre was able to wrap me up real quick, so yeah, we ended up falling this week, so, but it's not the worst case in the world because we're already clinched, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So, but yeah, GG to Katra, and we're on to the next match, which is going to be the final week of the regular season. So we are on to week 9 of the regular season. We are up against Peyton. Peyton hasn't had, like, the best season, to be honest, but this game doesn't really matter other than for seeding for me. And I want to and the other thing is I want to get gouging as many kills as possible because it's up for MVP. So Peyton has Terra Sneasler, Zapdos, Ursaluna, Slowking, Rillaboom, Crocodile, Tinkaton, Terra Cyclozart, Gramble, and Rampardos. As you can see on the left, this is what we're going to bring. We bring Shuckleberry, Iron Hands, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Swords Dance. Shuckle is really nice for the Ursaluna, but also for Terra Ground Sneasler in case they bring that, which I thought was a possibility. And for Crook as well. Gouging Fire here, Heat Crash, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Morning Sun, Lum. Lum is really nice for Static Zapdos, plus Dire Claw Sneasler, plus Thunder Wave Tinkaton. So, really like that aspect there. We got Fizz Death Haunter here. We're bringing the heat with this. Shadow Ball, Icy Wind, Toxic Spikes, Pain Split. This is here to help with the Ursaluna and the Sneasler. Specifically because I feel like it's going to bring Terra Ground Sneasler, not Terra Ghost or Dark, but we'll see. So that's really good. It also helps with Rillaboom too. But T-Spikes are really nice this match, so I can get, like, T-Spikes up and I can Pain Split up a lot. So I also went with Icy Wind to hit the Ursaluna plus the Rillaboom plus Crocodile, so, and Cyclozar, so really like that aspect too. Enamorous here. We got Terra Electric, Superpower, Play Rough, Terra Blast, Electric, Protect. Kind of similar set to the other game against Abriel, but we're Terra Electric because I wanted to try to set up on the Zapdos. I can set up on the Zapdos with it then. I was originally Terra Ghost, but I switched it to Electric because Zapdos was kind of getting a little bit of an issue with the team I was bringing. Then I got Registeel here, Leftovers, Body Press, Thunder Punch, Curse, Rest. Thunder Punch is there for the Slow King specifically, and if they go Terra Ghost, Sneasler, so... Yep. And then last but not least, we got Deoxys Speed. We got Sash Sleep. This is the first time we bring lead Hazard Stack Deoxys Speed. But I felt like it was really good for this matchup, especially if I want gouging to win here. Especially since the removal was just Cyclozar, I believe. Yeah, just Cyclozar. So Psycho Boost, Energy Ball, Taunt, Spikes. I felt like it was pretty good in this matchup. So yeah, let's get it started. They end up showing to be Terra Ground Sneasler, and they didn't bring Cyclozar, so I'm going to leave this Deoxys, and I'm just going to click Spikes here, get some Spikes up, as I want the gouging end game. That's the goal. I need chip on Ursaluna is the big thing in Slowking, so Lun's also for the Slowking T-Whip too. But I'm going to Taunt, I believe, on the Tinkaton, expecting the Rocks to go up, try to get Rocks up, but which is really nice for me. And then I believe I get up a second one. I get up a second Spike, yeah, and which is really good. And I still live another one, so I'm gonna get another Spike, which is clutch. So I'm gonna get all my hazards up, which is really nice because everything's gonna be taking a lot of chip here. They're taunted, which is fine, but I'm gonna go into gouging and put on immediate pressure on their team, because I want to be able to like force them out, I guess. As I'm gonna Dragon Dance here. Oh no, Heat Crash. Weird. Okay. I Heat Crash expecting Ursaluna to come in. As they go into Slowking, I'm going to go to Iron Hands. I don't know what to expect, but they chose Trick Room, so they're trying to get Ursaluna. They're going to Side Shock as I'm going to Drain Punch. Oh no, Thunder Punch. Bring it down with the Wakan all the way down low. And here's the play that really makes a huge difference in the game. So I'm going to click Drain Punch because I don't think they're going into... I don't think they're going to sack Slowking here because... Still pretty good this game. It's a way of setting up Trick Room 2 for Ursaluna. So, and I think they might go hard Ursaluna on the Thunder Punch. So, they go Chilly Reception as they decide to switch out. And they go into Ursaluna, which is so good for me. Because now this thing pretty much gone too. Because now gouging is pretty much a threat too. As the Flame Orb pops and it's going to die next turn. As I'm going to go into Haunter to predict the Facade. But they make the Great Plane Crunch, which... Crazy, I still ate that, but let's still survive that because that's a Flame Orb. Got Ursaluna, that hit so hard, but defense drop kind of actually sucks because it actually matters in this. You'll see in this. Okay, it actually ends up mattering a little bit, but I'm gonna Pain Split, so I'm gonna get like a lot of health. So Haunter is putting in the finest of work, basically being like the switch into Ursaluna, bringing down Zapdos to 55%, meaning it's in range of gouging pretty much. And unfortunately, the defense drop happened because that meant the Rillaboom here is going to be able to take me out though. So unfortunate. So they kill me, and I am going to go into gouging here though, because at this point gouging looks like it could just win at this point, which is really nice. So I'm gonna go for a Dragon Dance here as they go into Tinkaton, and I'm just gonna Heat Crash that afterwards. But I'm just talking way too fast. As this, I still haven't Dragon Danced yet. There we go. And I'm just gonna Heat Crash this thing, just destroy this thing here. There it goes. Down goes Tinkaton. Really nice because the Nairmouth looks really good too. And now they go into Sneasler, and I'm just gonna Heat Crash this too. Just to be able to do as much as I can. They Dire Claw, and they actually get to sleep, but thank God I'm Lumberry, because now I'm able to take out the Sneasler. And this looks like it might be a wrap here at this point, because Zapdos, well, everything else pretty much dies here at this point. They go into Rillaboom here, and we're just feeding gouging kills here. Pretty much giving it 5 kills at this point, and they end up, I believe, going to Slowking. I'm just going to kill this with Dragon Claw, and I'm going to Heat Crash the Zapdos and just pick up the last kill. So we end up picking up a 4, which is really nice. Hindsight, they should have gone Zapdos to try to beat the Para too, to be honest, but it is what it is, because they actually do get it. So, but it's too late anyway, so yeah, we end up pulling the dub in the last week of the regular season to try to put some momentum into the playoffs. So, and gouging ended up tying for the MVP this season with, I believe it was, yeah, with Fact Luigi's Lando. We got the same exact record and the same amount of games played, so really interesting to know. But yeah, so let's go into playoffs. So, we are back for playoffs, and before I get into this, I just want to say I actually was featured on Zuch's channel. You should definitely go check it out. They helped me prep with this game. I'll leave their channel in the description below. Definitely check it out. You should definitely subscribe to them. They're awesome. They helped me prep with this match this week, and it helped a lot. And Zuch is doing this thing where he he helps. If you sign up, he'll help you prep for a game, and he'll post a video about it, including the replay afterwards. So definitely 100% go check him out. He's great. Really helped with prep. But we get a rematch against Soggy Doggy Sage, so all the way back from week 1. Very different team though. Now they have Greninja, Terra Zarude, Terra Sandy Shocks, Metagross, Clefable, Blastoise, Rotom, Weezing, Kyurem, Illumise. And that is terrifying. So when we're going to prep, we discussed a lot of different things. I was very scared of the Zarude. I haven't played a Terra Zarude yet, but I knew that was a really good Pokemon. Because it just it's really bulky. It's able to set up. And the thing that holds back Zarude, I think, is its typing. So that's also something, and it gives it coverage too. Gren is always so scary with Battle Bond. Sandy Shocks is also really good in general with Terra too. But I doubt they tear that over Zarude. Metagross is scary. Clefable is really annoying to deal with. Blastoise could be like a spinner now. The Blastoise is a removal, so that's really annoying. Rotom they had last time, but it's a really good Iron Hands answer, and Registeel answer too. Weezing is kind of just there too. Kyurem is interesting because I don't really switch into well to Kyurem, and then Illumise kind of just there. I didn't think they're gonna bring it, but you'll see in a second. But let's go over the team I brought. Zuch and I decided to go with a Hazard Stack team, running off with Tentacruel here, Citrus Berry, Sludge Bomb, Toxic Spikes, Flip Turn, Rapid Spin, the Citrus Berries to help with taking hits from Gren, Clef, stuff like that, to keep it healthy. I want T-Spikes up this game because I didn't know if they're going to bring the Weezing, and even then it might not even be neutralizing gas, so that's why I was like, yo, this is going to be really good. So we end up deciding to go with that. And if I'm able to poison the Blastoise, because I think Blastoise should be Rocky Helmet, that'll be really clutch too for gouging. We end up going with this really interesting gouging fire set. It is Scale Shot, Heat Crash, Sub, Morning Sun, really Spadef set. Basically the idea is so I could sub up on Rotom, Weezing, Clefable, and be able to deal with it that way. I also gonna be able to take hits from Greninja, from Zarude, stuff like that. The biggest issue is Zarude is if it's bulk up, because I don't really deal with it too well once it tears. Depending on the type. I'm also able to take a Kyurem hit too, depending on what it is. I can also sub up a Blastoise. Yeah, that's kind of the idea why I really like this. This set was really good. Scale Shot was interesting because we were debating between Scale Shot, Dragon Tail, or Dragon Dance or something like that, or Sunny Day was the other one actually. And I'm going with Scale Shot because it could be a good sweeping potential. Dragon Tail is kind of interesting, I guess, but and then Morning Sun, I like the Sunny didn't really like because of Leaf Guard, Zarude could be really annoying with that. Plus giving Clefable full recovery with Morning Sun could be really annoying, but it could have been really good in this matchup because they didn't really deal with it the best, but I felt like this was still good. Then we got Mandibuzz here, Foul Play, U-Turn, Whirlwind, and Roost, Fizz Def. This is here for the Zarude. Whirlwind, I'm trying to keep this Zarude from bulking up too much. As long as it's not Terra Fairy plus Taunt, I'm able to deal with it with Mandibuzz. So that's something to keep in mind. This also helps with the Metagross too if it gets out of hand. Enamorous here, Choice Specs, Terra Ground, Moonblast, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Healing Wish is really good here for this matchup. Hits their team extremely hard. They don't switch in that well. If I catch Metagross once, it's not a switch in anymore. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Sludge Bomb is just there for say Zarude, Terra Fairy or something like that, or Clefable. It's actually more for Clefable because Clefable can still deal with this. But then we got Deoxys Speed, Focus Sash, Spikes, Knockoff, Psycho Boost, Taunt. We'll bring another lead Deoxys Speed set. Spikes are really good this game. I wanted to have the stack right. That's kind of the idea with Tentacruel too. But it's also really good to prevent hazards from going up on my side and get off items and Psycho Boost things, I guess. So it's also really good at stopping setup too with Taunt. So I really like that. And last but not least, we got the Patty Cake Champ, Iron Hands, Assault Vest, Full Switch, Drain Punch, Heavy Slam, Fake Out. This is what we came up with. I'm mostly going to be clicking the first 3 moves. I'm going to be clicking mostly Full Switch if Rotom's here. But Fake Out's literally there that's just in case like the Granites gets out of hand with Battle Bond shenanigans. I'm not going to really be clicking it that much though. But it also could be really good with T-Spikes up too to get like chipped down. So, but as you can see, they end up bringing Greninja, Zarude, Sandy Shocks, Metagross, Kyurem, and Illumise. And they end up being Terra Fairy, Zarude, and Terra Electric Sandy Shocks. So very scary for me to deal with. I did not expect the Illumise too, which is crazy because I thought Rotom or Blastoise or Clefable would come over that. We both did. But that just is really interesting, I guess, like in terms of brings, what like why they brought that. I'm not sure exactly. Probably for like Encore Thunderwave shenanigans for like the gouging, I'm assuming. But yeah. So I'm gonna lead Deoxys against I think everything. I think I like Spike except for the Sandy. No, not Sandy. The Zarude. I think Zarude I taunt if I do that. But they lead Sandy, so I'm just gonna spike up. Since they don't have Rotom, I'm okay because I can spin away with the Tentacruel too. It's not the worst thing in the world. As they go for rocks, and this time I'm going to taunt, expecting them to be spikes, Stealth Rock lead, which is really good. And I'm going to get up a second spike here, I believe, which is really clutch, being able to get some chip off on stuff. As they Volt Switch, and I'm brought down to 52%, which is fine. As they go into Illumise, I don't want to get T-Waved, and they shouldn't be boots. So I'm going to go Tentacruel, as they just U-turn, which is kind of a good play on their part. But I'm going to go Rapid Spin here on the Sandy Shocks coming in. So I'm able to get rid of these rocks here, which is really nice at least. Because I eat this Earth Power, I take the Citrus. And I decided like I want the T-Spikes up now. Because now I outspeed the Sandy Shocks to +1. And I'm able to get these T-Spikes up, which is really good. Because it's going to be really good for getting this team weekend. And I'm going to sack off basically Tentacruel. I wish I had Surf now at this point, but Sludge Bomb made a lot of sense against their team too. Over Surf, so... I get the Poison luckily, which is nice. As I'm going to be able to go out into Enamorus as I sack off Tentacruel, which is fine. It was only really there to get T-Spikes up and help with the Greninja, which I have Iron Hand still, but Iron Hand's still going to have to take on Kyurem, so it's kind of like a weird position, but I'm just going to Earth Power here, predicting the Metagross to come in, but they make a really good play and go into Illumise, which kind of sucks because that means I made a not a great play. But I'm going to Terra Ground Earth Power because they can't do anything to me, because that means if I'm Terra Ground, they can't Thunder Wave, and I'm already Choice, so they can't Encore me, and the best they could do is U-turn out as they go into Sandy Shocks, and this is interesting because they bring this in and it's 20%. I already know I'm faster than it too, so there's only one reason they would do that, and that means that they are Custap Berry. So that means I am going to switch out because Enamorus is the best Pokemon against their team at the moment, and I do not want to take this Earth Power from it. So I'm going to go into Mandibuzz, predicting the Earth Power to come out, as they show to be Custap, which is really interesting, which is really nice spring. As they get the rocks up though instead, which really sucks because that means they get 2 hazards up. But I'm just going to Roost predict in case they go for the Volt Switch, but it is what it is as they get rocks and a spike up, which kind of sucks. So yeah, they go down to T-Spikes and they're going to bring out Zarude, which is Terra Fairy, so I'm going to immediately Whirlwind. I'm not clicking anything else. If they decide to taunt me, I'm fine. I'm going to just U-turn the next turn and go into like an Enamorus to put on huge pressure. As they end up bulking, which is really good for me that I Whirlwind here. It was also in case they Trailblaze or something like that too with Zarude, so they go into Grand, and I'm just going to U-turn out because like as long as when I like Specs or like Ice Beam, I'm chilling kind of thing. And I get the U-turn off, and I get to go back into Enamorus. And this time, I'm not making the mistake of clicking Earth Power. I'm clicking Moonblast, because either way, with these two spikes up, Metagross is taking a bunch of chip anyway. So I think I'm in a good position anyway. So I'm just going to Moonblast here, kill this Illumise. So that thing is gone, and we're in a really good position now. They go to Metagross. I'm going to Mandibuzz, because that's my, it's going to deal with it anyway. Best way to deal with it, as they show to be Meteor Beam. Like, yo, oh my god, what a great play, honestly, by Soggy Sage right now. As I'm going to basically have to sack off this Mandibuzz here. Well played. Good bring too. As I'm going to go into Enamorus, I'm just going to Earth Power, because they don't have an Earth Power switch in right now, because they tear with Zarude. So this thing goes down. The only thing that takes the Earth Power at this point is a Kyurem. But it's a roll anyway, and plus they go into Kyurem, and in case it's Scarf, I'm going to sack off the Deoxys in case. But in case they're not Scarf and they Dragon Dance, I also have the play of Deoxys Speed I'm going to go into, because I outspeed +1 Kyurem anyway, so it's like the best play I think I could make at the point. I also don't need Deoxys at this point either, so they go for Earth Power, which is fine, and I'm going to go into Iron Hands here. And I am going to Drain Punch this thing. I thought about Heavy Sand, but thank God I Drain Punch because I wasn't sure if that Zarude was coming in or not. So, but I'm going to Drain Punch, get my recovery back here, up to 78%, which is really nice here. As they go into Zarude, and this is the craziest play. Like, this is like, for me, this is like a 50-50 like kind of situation. So, I want to sack off Gouging here, so I can get an Emerson and kill this thing. But the problem is that if it's bulk up like jungle healing, I'm in a really bad position, especially if they jungle healing here as I switch into Gouging and they bulk up, because then they actually beat my Gouging set. I guess an Amherst could always try to revenge, so as long as I keep Gouging, like keep it as low as possible with Gouging, but it's still not the best position. I guess Synthesis also would have been like really scary too, but I think the better play, with the play, like, so I decided to make the prediction that they're going to Synthesis up and click Heavy Sand. I think the better play was to just go go into Gouging Fire and just Heat Crash until I die, because I don't think this is going to be Trailblaze based off the way they're playing it, and Namorous has Sludge Bomb, which always pretty much takes it out because it specs, so that's the better play, but I decided to stay in, and they click Terra Blast, as I kill it, I eat the Terra Blast, and now comes out Greninja, so this is the biggest issue. So the only way that Greninja wins this game: Modest, Life Orb, Hydro Pump, because that's the only way they're taking out my Gouging Fire, and that's a roll, I believe, too, maybe, I think. But I actually end up eating the extra Sentry anyway, and Drain Punching, so Iron Hands cleaning up the game. So we end up moving on to Semifinals, which is really clutch, on the back of Iron Hands and Hazard Stack in an Amherst. So yeah, Gouging didn't even hit the field, so unfortunate. But yeah, we move on to Semifinals, so I'll catch you in that. So we got another rematch against Fact Luigi, but we lost to Fact Luigi last time, but this time I have like better ways to answer Landorus, which is really nice. So, if you forgot, the team is Urshifu Single Strike, Galarian Slowking, Cinderace, Terra, Landorus I, Polion Comfey, Terra Superior, Rotom Frost, Dunsparce, and Wigglytuff. What I'm bringing is a Spadef Mandibuzz U-turn knockoff Whirlwind Roost. I like the knockoff situation to be able to deal with like to kick off certain items kind of thing, and just Whirlwind just to switch things around. You'll see I'm going to bring spikes later on, but yeah, then we got the same Registeel set, Rest, Sleep Talk, Iron Defense, Body Press. I think this is still really good. I just misplayed with the Terra with the Namorous, which I'm bringing the same set also, because I think both of these sets are still really good, but I just like didn't play it really well. This time I'm bringing Spike's Lead Deoxys though, with Spike's Knockoff, Taunt, Psycho Boost, to be able to get some spikes off and get like immediate damage off on a lot of things. So Taunt is also really nice for like preventing them from setting up rocks like Empoleon or Dunsparce, stuff like that. So yeah. And next we got Gouging Fire, Lumberry, Dragon Dance, Heat Crash, Dragonflaw, Morning Sun, Adamant. But we're like, it's kind of like the weird, like the way they did with the EVs. But I'm like really bulky, so I actually take, I actually eat 2 pretty easily. I can Morning Sun, not easily, but I can Morning Sun off the Cinderace high jump kicks, which is really nice. It was kind of the idea, pretty well. So yeah. And then last but not least, we got Patty Cake Champ, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Sugar Berry. Sugar Berry is there for the Lando, but also is there to help with the Urshifu Single. I didn't think they'd bring Comfey this game, so I decided to go with Earthquake over Heavy Sam, but might not have been the best play because they, as you can see on their screen, they did bring the Comfey. So they bring Urshifu Single, G-King, Lando I, which is Terra Poison, Superior, which is Terra Grass, Cinderace, and Comfey. So I'm going to lead off with Deoxys, because that's my play anyway, 100% of the time, as they show to lead Urshifu, and I'm just going to get up a Spike at this point. I'm perfectly fine with that. I want to get that lead Spike situation, as they go for Wicked Blow, and And I'm actually going to save this around because I don't think they have hazards this game because it would have to be on Lando. And I don't think they're bringing. I think they rather just click moves with Lando. So I'm going to go out to Iron Hands, save this as they get a Wicked Blow off. And I believe I'm going to double out into gouging, I think, on the Comfey. But they go into Lando, which sucks because that's probably the worst case scenario for me. As I'm going to go straight into Mandy as they show sub. And I'm going to Whirlwind because I'm not dealing with the shenanigans as they tear Poison and they show Nasty Plot. So I'm going to Whirlwind this thing out, get this thing out of here as they go into G King. And I get either a U-turn or a knockoff. I believe I go for the knockoff here. Yeah, knockoff here, and I think I U-turn out, right? I think I U-turn out. Yeah, U-turn out, Draining Kiss. They show to be like a weird like defensive. They show to be like a defensive set, so they're probably a defensive Calm Mind, Draining Kiss. So, well, it's Draining Gouging Fire. I'm gonna Dragon Dance in this face as they go hard Superior, which is crazy. It was a crazy play, but luckily I'm lump because they're probably expecting to use the Glare. I'm going to Dragon Dance again for a second one to get outspeed the Cinderace as they glare and I get the second attack boost. And I'm just going to Heat Crash this thing. And down it goes. Now, we're in a really good position now. We're +2. One of the spikes is up, so no sashes kind of situation. I eat this Sucker Punch too as I'm going to just Heat Crash, kill that thing too. We're in a really good position now. They go into G-King. I'm going to Heat Crash too. And they show to be Max Fizz Death, and that was a roll in their favor in hindsight, but it was a roll, which meant also if I got up the second spike, this was dead. So that was a misplay in that part, but in hindsight it's fine. Like that's just in hindsight too, because I thought that keeping Deoxys was really nice for the Lando. But they go into Lando here, and I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna go into Mandibuzz here. Because this thing is really still good for helping out against the Comfey. As I'm going to believe knockoff or U-turn. I think I U-turn. Yeah, I U-turn. I'm gonna go out to Namorous here, and Earth Power is pretty free at this point. They can't go Cinderace here, and Comfey is gonna get destroyed by Earth Power into Moonblast. So that goes down. They go out to Cinderace here. And I'm expecting this to be probably Scarf Cinderace, so I'm going to go sack off Mandibuzz. I don't need it for the rest of the game because Comfey's there still. Or Comfey probably deals with it anyway. So I'm going to go out to Gouging. I'm going to Heat Crash on the prediction that they go out into Comfey here because I'm expecting them to be Scarf Cinderace again. As I get the prediction right, and I'm just going to go for another Heat Crash here as they Calm Mind, trying to predict me, like trying to hope for a para, as I'm going to Heat Crash, get that off. Great. Now, I'm going to Dragon Claw on the Cinderace here, and they go for Zen Headbutt, so they go for the flinch shenanigans, which in hindsight, that meant I should have gone for the Heat Crash, because there's no way they're locking the Pyro Ball against me, but it's fine, as they get the flinch here, and they get the para there, and that, as long as I don't get flinch para one more time, I'm fine, but nope, and I'm dead from that, but I have a lot of different ways to deal with it. Now, I think at this point, so first off, I have a Namorous here, and if it's not Scarf, Deoxys can deal with it, or Registeel, if it is Scarf, Registeel deals with it locked in a Zen Headbutt. But yeah, GG, we end up being Fat Luigi. Turns out he was supposed to be Terra Rock on the Superior, but I don't think that ended up mattering at that point, so... but yeah, GG. We move on to finals, which is really clutch. So I'll see you there. So we're on to the finals, and we got a rematch again, but this time against Abrio. Now, Abrio's game kind of was like a weird one. I brought a lot of heat to it. I also choked the game, but also they missed a Bleak Windstorm, so it was kind of like a weird game. But their team, if you forgot, was Terratorn T, Hisuian Samurai, Goldango, Excadrill, Terra Pheasantipity, Tyranitar, Jeeks, Zapdos, Whimsicott, and Smeargle. Now, looking at this, I decided to switch some things up. First off, Crypto, right, the Registeel. Terra Ground this time because I wanted the extra Earthquake damage and also not to be weak to ground type moves from the extra drill hit. But Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Ice Spinner, Stealth Rocks this time because I want to be able to get chip off on certain stuff to get things in range of Gouging Fire in Enamorous, so I thought that would be really nice this game. Then we got a Namorous here, same set as last time, because I felt like this set is really good against them. The best way they can deal with it is Torn T or the Whimsicott again. So this time I have Fizz Death though Mandibuzz, so Excadrill is not as scary against me, because I'm able to deal with it with U-Turn, Foul Play, Defog, Roost to be able to deal with that. Defog is really nice against for Smeargle webs and stuff like that. I also have a Spore Absorber now too with Overcoat, which is really nice too. Then we got the Patty Cake Champ with the Shuckaberry, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Heavy Slam, Sword Stance. I was originally Earthquake, but I switched to the Heavy Slam before the game because I talked to Sketch, and he helped me out with that. So I went up with Heavy Slam instead of Earthquake to hit the Pheasantipity harder. And to hit the Whimsicott was the big idea. So, yeah. Then we got Gouging Fire, Dragon Dance, Heat Crash, Double Kick, Scale Shot, Lum this time. So we're Lum this time for the Smeargle, Goldango, Whimsicott, those kind of things. That's kind of why I was Lum this time. Also, I'm Scale Shot this time too, so I'm able to get the speed boost to try to outspeed Excadrill at +2. And also in case they are Terra, Water, Torn T kind of situation. That's kind of the reason why I'm going with it. So this thing looks really good though. And then last but not least, we got Life Orb, Deoxys Speed, Psycho Boost, Shadow Ball, Superpower, Spikes. Pretty nice against their team. I decided to go with Shadow Ball this time so I get 2 KO Goldango, which is really nice instead of knockoff. So yeah, let's go into this match, which they end up bringing Torn T, Hisuian Samurott, Goldango, Pheasantipity, Tyranitar, and G-Zapdos. The Torn T is Terra Flying actually, and Pheasantipity is Terra Water. So interesting, very interesting. I wasn't expecting Torn to be flying. I felt like ground was really good against my team again, but we'll see. As we lead off with Deoxys Speed, and I'm like, okay, because they lead the T-Tar, and I'm like, well, here's the thing, right? I'm just gonna superpower this thing because if it isn't Chople, it's dead. If it's Sash Lead, that's fine too. I can bring this basically down, and that means in case they are a Chople, it would be really nice for a Namorous kind of thing to get rid of the Chople early. So I'm gonna superpower, bring this down, and it turns out to be Chople, and bring it down to around half, which is really nice. So now this thing is not that great. Plus, also Chople is really good breaking for gouging. That's another idea too. But they kill me with the knockoff, which kind of sucks. But I think that was kind of worth to get rid of this Chople for the gouging and a Namorous, to be honest. So. But I'm getting a free superpower here to get the attack boost here. They go to, as I get the kill on T-Tar here. As they go into the only Pokemon that outspeeds me on their team other than the Scarfers, which is Torn T. And I'm going to protect the Scout what they want to do here. Probably wasn't a great play, because if they Nasty Plot, I was in a really bad position. I don't think they would Nasty Plot, because +1 Play Rough took it out. So I feel like that was would have been a really bad play. But it should be Terra Blast, so I'm gonna go out to Registeel here just to keep this healthy. You know, Namorous looks really good this game too. So, as they show to be Specs, that's Specs damage right there. So I'm gonna get my Rocks up, but that's really scary. But at least I'm gonna be able to get 25% off every time he comes in with these Rocks up, because they don't have any removal at this point in the game. So they go to G-Zapdos on the hard play, which is really a good play on their part. But I'm gonna go to Mandibuzz, which is Fizz Death, and the U-turn shows to me that they are not banded. So my guess is that they're Scarf at this point. As they go into Torn again, and I'm gonna go back into Registeel because this is my best answer to it. As they Terra Blast again, keep getting damage off, and I'm gonna Ice Spinner predicting the G-Zap to come in, but they make a really good play and go to Goldango, probably trying to catch the T-Wave, to be honest. But that's fine at this point. So I believe I'm actually going to make the play out into Iron Hands here. As they go into Hisuian Samurott, I don't know why they doubled in. I think it was because of the gouging. I think they doubled in trying to catch the gouging coming in. But I'm going to Iron Hands here because I don't feel like it's that useful this match, other than for the Hisuian Samurott anyway. So I'm going to Thunder Punch, predicting like Goldango to come back in or something like that, or Pheasantipity as they roost, and I'm gonna Heavy Slam and bring this all the way down to so low. I'm just gonna get a free Heavy Slam off again as I get the Play Rough, and I'm pretty weakened at this point, but it's not the worst thing in the world because Pheasantipity with getting rid of the Pheasantipity is really nice for stuff like gouging as well, for not having to take Rocky Helmet Chip. They have to go for Razor Shell so they can't get up a Spike, which is really nice. So I get to go back into that Enamorous here, and I get to go for a superpower, but I actually make the play to predict the Torrent coming in and go for the play rough here, bring it super low, which is really nice. As I'm gonna go for a protect to scout what he wants to go for in case they try to switch it up and go for a heat wave. As they go for a hurricane, so their specs hurricane here is gonna hurt. But I'm gonna go out to Registeel here as they end up missing, which is really nice for me at least. And some leftovers recovery too. As I believe I Earthquake this time? Did I Earthquaking this time? Yeah. They're reading me on like the Registeel prediction, so it's been really tough here. But I'm gonna go into Mandibuzz here. It makes sense, kind of thing. As they close combat this time, predicting me to stay in with Registeel, but I was like, nah, I'm fine. I'm gonna boost up here as they go to Hisuian Samurott, and I'm gonna go U-turn here on them clicking a Razor Shell because I get the momentum. I'm gonna get an Amerson kind of situation. So they go for the Ceaseless Edge, get up a Spike, not the worst thing in the world. And if the Scarf and Namorous is able to do with it too. So they end up showing to be Sucker Punch, which is fine, but I get a superpower boost, and I'm gonna be able to protect here to scout what they wanted to do with the Torrent. Now, something happens, right? I'm gonna protect here. They show to go for Terra Blast, and for some reason, the Calc acted weird. So I had the Calc, Terrifying, Torrent, Terra Blast, Max Special Attack. Checked for Timid and Modest. Thought it was on specs. It was not on specs. It was on something like Master Ball or like Metal Coat. It was so weird. So I thought I lived this, and I did not. So in hindsight, it wasn't the worst thing in the world though too, because like at this point in Namorous, kind of like did G-Zapdos outsped anyway. Gholdengo, like I wasn't gonna be able to get superpowers off anyway, so like it was kind of like in a weird position. Keeping HP on Registeel was actually kind of really important for this end game anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world. As we go into G-Zapdos, and I believe I Ice Spinner at this point, get this really weekend really nice. As I am going to go into my Mandibuzz here, as they're probably gonna U-turn out, but there's not much I can really do about this. As I actually live a Terra Blast here at this point because I actually got the calc right this time. But they risked the Hurricane and take me out. So we're in a really bad position now. There's only a couple of ways that we can win this game here. Registeel and it's going to have to come on the backs of Gouging Fire. And I'm going to need to figure out the best way to set it up. Because and what I'm going to do here is I think I Spinner it, or do I Earthquake? I think I Earthquake? I Spinner here. I'm predicting G-Zapdos to come in. And I'm going to Earthquake here. I'm going to have to stay in an Earthquake as they're going to be able to weaken me down. They showed to be Shuka, which is interesting. Makes sense with like Enamorous there and like Registeel and like a bunch of other stuff. So, but now they're at +2, and so this is the end game situation I'm thinking in my mind, right? So G-Zapdos, Choice Scarf, Torrent, Specs. Well, I'm pretty sure G-Zapdos is Scarf at this point. Like, there's no reason it shouldn't be, to be honest. I feel like that would be such a throw if it wasn't at this point, like in prep, because the way they're playing it, if it wasn't banned, the Scarf would make so much sense right now. And right now, what I need to happen right now is there's a couple ways I can do this. So first, I have to hope that I'm able to keep this Gholdengo weakened, so maybe a +1 Scale Shot be able to take it out at this point, so I get the second speed boost to outspeed G-Zapdos. Second situation, they let me take out Gholdengo with Registeel. That means they have to go into G-Zapdos if I'm at enough HP. If Terra Blast doesn't kill, they have to go G-Zapdos, and they have to kill me with that. And if they don't, if they do kill me, I can go into Gouging Fire and Scale Shot, and that's another way I can win this game. But if any of you guys been watching me for Crash, for my last league I uploaded live, we do not have a good relationship with Scale Shot, so this is terrifying for me at this point. But we're gonna Earthquake again. I considered trying to Terra too, but that would be a terrible idea because then Torrentee kind of just wins at this point too. I Earthquake and I kill it. Now, something to also know. I actually lived a Terra Blast on Gouging Fire from Torrentee at this point. I don't think I live a Hurricane. I think it was a roll or something like that. Actually, let me check. I can pull up because I think I still have it in the damage calc. Okay, Gouging Fire, because I was not that bulky on. Oh my god, why is it always the defensive sets? Pot, Hurricane. Yeah, I definitely don't live a let me pull it up. Okay, so Terra Blast after one spike is up, right? And 1 HP. So Hurricane always takes me out. Terrifying always takes me out after a spike. Terra Blast does not. So that was another endgame situation. If they locked into Terra Blast, I could Dragon Dance and then Scale Shot on the Torrentee. So that's the other situation. But I'm gonna go. They go on to G Zapdos and in close combat take me out. Fine. This is the moment of truth, right? Basically, my win con right now is literally just landing Scale Shot, and I was shaking. Yeah, like I was like so like, oh my god, am I really about to get screwed over by Scale Shot again? Like I'm like, oh my god, no, please don't, please land, because I need this for a win here. Otherwise, I lose because close combat two shots me at this point, and I'm in not a good position otherwise because I'm not a bulky Gouging Fire. So yeah, they end up close combating, and moment of truth, we land. Whew! Oh my god. So we take out this G Zapdos, that means we outspeed the Torrentee, and we're gonna be able to take out the Torrentee because it's at 44%. It's not living a heat crash here, and we end up winning WPF Psycho Boost division. Oh my gosh. GG to Abrio. Crazy endgame. Very scary team. Yeah, something that Avery was talking about. So afterwards, they were thinking about they should have risked the two Hurricanes. I would have in their position done the same thing, to be honest, because I think it was in lock anyway. If it didn't, as long as it didn't have Scale Shot, it wasn't Choice Scarf. That game was they were gonna win too. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So, but wow, we pulled it off. Oh my gosh. We pulled out another WPF championship after Red Ice, if you remember from the first season I uploaded. It's coming back to uploading. Wow. Yes, we did it again on the back of Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire this season ended up being 25 kills, 5 deaths. Crazy stat line. It was really good this season. I was so good with it. I love Gouging Fire now. It's so good. But yeah, ended up pulling the dub to win the championship for WPF Psycho Boost Season 16 division season. GG to Ariel. Again, really close game, really exciting game the way how it finished. But yeah, I want to thank a couple people for helping out with prep. First off, Zooch for the quarterfinal prep, right? That was really clutch to help get past Sage. Sketch for the help, as well as Crypto, because they're helpers. I didn't ask for help a lot of the times, but sometimes for it was specifically this kind of thing, right? Specifically in this game, the Scale Shot Gouging Fire. I was like, should I keep Scale Shot on this, or should I switch off for a rest Chesto set or something like that? But it ended up working out really well. So yeah, want to thank them, and I want to thank all the mods and the commissioner Rizzo for running this season. It's such a great league. So can't wait to be back for next season if they'll take me. But yeah, great job. Thank you all the mods for running everything, especially with some of the cool stuff they did with coach interviews and stuff like that, recap videos too. I really enjoyed this season. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, Bash out.